Hello everyone, and welcome to Nothing But Mist. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Liz, and I will be your DM tonight. This game, Nothing But Mist, is inspired by Curse of Strahd, which is one of my favourite official D&D campaigns. It's the first one that I ever DM'd when I was first starting out DMing, and it is absolutely my favourite. It is set within the cursed lands of Barovia. Let's meet the players and have a word from our sponsors.
Hi, my name is Talia, she, her, and I will be playing Memory, also she, her. The sweet, enthusiastic, kind of tiefling, kind of druid, who has found herself in the lands of Barovia on her own quest to go and put to rest her family and to cure her home of the curse that is slowly, inexorably turning her into a tree. It's painful. She's happy about it. For everybody else.
Hi, I'm Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Jaunty, who uses they, them pronouns. Jaunty begins our tale as a reluctant reborn, bard of spirits and warlock of the undying. They are jaded, they are grumpy, they are mad that they've been brought back to life 79 times, and they want to be out of Barovia already. Let's see how the campaign may help or hinder this.
Hello, I am Nathan Lurs. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Alfred Alfie Abbey Abington, who also uses he, him pronouns. He is a regal and royal paladin sorcerer who entered into Barovia very sure of his quality and the power of his vengeance, but has become increasingly exhausted and tired, and now he's trying to do things differently.
Hi everyone, my name is Astrid. She, her pronouns. I'm playing with Sora, who is a very young far traveler dragonborn. Her specialty is fire. Bless her, she's very naive. She ended up in the land of Barovia, but she's still convinced that she is in Fairyland. It's just that every recommendation she had about Fairyland is probably not very accurate. Although there's been some candy and some piñatas along the way, which she has liked, along with some fairy creatures. So that part was fun.
Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack math rocks for use in your favourite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made from sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check out their entire selection, including some limited roll together dice. And if you use the code ROLLTOGETHER, all caps, at checkout, you'll get 25% off your next purchase.
Big love to our D20 club on Patreon. They're great. You're wonderful. We love you so much. And they help us keep the kobolds in line, which is very important. They get up to all sorts of cheeky jam-related activities. Anyway, the D20 club, they've created a fan Discord where you can come and chat about all things Roll Together. And they've created a wiki page to help you keep track of all of our stories, which you can find at rolltogether.fandom.com. You can join and be as cool as they are from as little as one of your local currencies per month by following the link in chat or in the description below.
We are delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation, then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. And if you put !code into chat, you'll get yourself a free Electrum chest.
We are happy to be supported by Homie and the Dude. Homie and the Dude are a father and son duo, a group company that make various different TTRPG supplement books, which includes The Wandering Tavern, and coming soon to Kickstarter, they have a new Dune/Mad Max inspired book called Scorched Basin. You can go check out all of their stuff following the links in chat or in the description below. And if you use the code ROLLTOGETHER at checkout, you can get 10% off of your purchase.
You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok by searching Roll Together RPG, or by following the links in chat or in the description below. If you can't join us live and want to see our previous adventures, you can catch up straight after on YouTube or on your favourite podcasting app by searching for Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections, and we have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out !safety in chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
And now, let's begin. So, what happened last time? Last time, the church that you were in, where you found your items, was being surrounded by vampiric thralls. And they had come in through the coffin maker's house, place of business. And the townsfolk had come to this church because the town's being raided at this point in time. Unfortunately, the bones of St. Andrel had been replaced by you guys. Yay, well done. So they were safe, which is great. As they came in, they were being given a motivational speech by the priest, who Memory had kind of enthused previously, and this helped out combat because he was like, hey guys, have some holy water. And that was pretty great. One of my notes says candy vampire. We had a great roll where we determined that one of the vampires, instead of being filled with dust, was filled with cotton candy. And Sora, you had a great time with that. My next note is Strahd wanted to look cool. So Strahd, of course, appeared to witness what he had created, wasn't very happy with it, and I think he had a really busted performance check on his way down as he soared down and his cape went over his head. Combat was pretty tough, I believe, but you were helped out by the villagers. The last vampire that got murdered by you all, good work, kind of let out this wail, and we said that it wasn't a real wail, it was like an audio wail, not a creature. But this triggered a memory of the past. So we thought, you know what, let's have a little cheeky flashback. So we did. We went to the first vampire thrall that you remembered seeing. And this was Doru, the young man who'd been turned into this vampiric thrall and returned to his father by Strahd. Between you, you decided that you should fix him instead of killing him. Good move, I enjoyed that. And Jaunty's patron, the Muse Eternal, decided to weigh in on the action using her power to take from Strahd something for herself instead. My next question is, what did you turn Doru into and how was it?
He turned into a sexy cop.
Who tells stories because he was also a D&D nerd.
100%. Yeah.
But doesn't tell stories in the context of his job. He's very honest, very
stand-up guy,
very, like by the book, maybe even outside the book to be more conscientious of his community and the various needs of the people therein, that sort of thing.
He had that poster of like the ideal paladin, so I think
he did.
He's found at one point before he must have been wanting to be heroic good, and he is still gonna be now in his job.
Yes. Oh, and he got a new fabulous mohawk haircut.
He did. Yes. He did. Sora did not roll a natural 1 on the haircut, fortunately, because otherwise he would have lost his head. But instead, he got a great new haircut. Thanks for mentioning the poster, because the poster you saw an amulet, the center of which there was a red stone, which, of course, I guess Sora would, as a character, know is a stone that she currently has in a pouch. But yeah, Doru, now new lease of life, is now Muse Eternals. What is a warlock to a patron?
An employee?
Yeah, it's contract, isn't it?
No, it's just a warlock, I guess.
Doru's part of her flock, I guess, is the easiest way to put it. But yes, anyway, we snap back to the present. You, of course, had leveled up to level 3 by this point, and were feeling stronger and like you remembered more things. Once the fight completed, you returned to the Blue Water Inn, and Danica gave you rooms for the night for free to thank you for saving the town. Jonty and Abby had kind of a nice sort of discussion about how things were going. And my next note I love. It says, you had a chat, and I like that Memory slept in Sora's room as a cat. That was really nice. What colour cat were you?
Calico.
Calico cat.
All the mottling kind of hides the weird light bits.
Nice. No, I like it. Does your calico motley cat have a blep? That's the next important question.
Yes.
Perma blep.
A what?
Blep. A blep tongue.
So
Cats are like...
a blep is where the tongue sticks out just a little bit when they're resting.
Oh,
Like that.
that's the perfect name for it. I've learned something new
Have you
today.
not heard of blep? Evie.
No.
If you're in Twitch chat right now and you have heard of blep, let us know.
If you are on the group Discord, add photos of your pets. And
Yes.
That's the real call to action.
Yes.
I love this. Thank you. Moving on from blep, you woke up the next morning refreshed. It was the day of the Festival of the Rising Sun. Danica kind of woke you all up with a bit of a start, telling you about her sons who had gone to get pastries from the nice old lady. Turns out they'd not returned and the old lady had gone. Oh heck. Jaunty used a scrying spell and saw the old woman with her cart. Brom and Bray were following along. You saw during this time 4 standing stones with familiar icons sort of scraped into them. The old lady seemed to see the scrying orb that was hovering around, grabbed it and crushed it. You all agreed to go get the kids and left the town, seeing Henrik Vandervoort, the coffin maker guy, in the stocks in the centre of the marketplace as punishment for his betrayal of the safety of the town. And I think that's all my notes. If anyone else has got anything else to add?
Then I as we'd slept that night, I think we leveled up again.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. Which brings me to my next point. So that's kind of where we left.
And the pastries, not just the kids. We went for the pastries.
100% pastries. Yes, which I think Memory had a note that they may not be as innocent as they appear, these pastries. They're
Kid pastries. So what we're going to do is rescue the kids and then steal the oven and then make non-kid pastries.
Yes.
correct.
I love
that
this
is
plan.
what this game is about. Yes, lovely. I will be asking you shortly what your level 5 selves look like. But before that, we're going to have another flashback, if that's okay with everybody. So we're going to have another flashback, but it does not belong to you. It belongs to a raven. And we're going to begin as this raven flies through the mist, landing on a bare branch of an old oak tree. The raven's landing shakes the condensation from the branch, and it begins to preen itself. This raven kind of does this and shakes its feathers, stops for a moment, surveying its surroundings. And it sees a set of 3 hilly mounds close to each other, each one larger than the next. It swoops towards the smallest, which is topped by 4 standing stones, which the raven kind of likes because he uses these standing stones to break open snail shells. It lands on top of one and cocks its head towards the next largest hill. On that there is a rickety windmill with wicked beings who live within. The raven avoids that hill. With a few flaps of its black wings, the raven soars towards the largest hill, overlooking most of this land. A huge beast is charging to its peak. It lumbers up the hill. Memory, can you describe how you last saw Twiggy and what Twiggy looked like?
So Twiggy is about a 10-year-old blackthorn tree. Dark brown, smooth bark, twigs shooting from the sides, developing into thorns, and kind of into a more black purple. And it starts getting a little twisted, though, at the ends. There's now leaves kind of affected still by the blight last time I saw. It should be about 10 feet tall, but it's only about 7 or so. It's a little bit gnarled and to the side as if can't quite work out where the sun is and that the soil isn't good enough to provide the nutrients. Doing its best, but like me, we're not quite what we should be. And it's just, last time I saw it, it was lumbering round behind me, trying to give some aid, be a companion, but treated more like a tool, a dog with a job rather than a pampered pet.
Amazing. Thank you, Memory. So the raven sees Twiggy, who we know to be Twiggy. But the raven's pretty wary at this point. It has spotted the wicked ones closing in on this tree beast. The stunted tree beast. They move with an unnatural speed and conjure strange lights and elements that the raven does not wish to understand. The raven marvels at the courage of the huge tree beast, but accepts the fate that awaits it. The raven held in its heart a shred of hope that perhaps the tree beast would kill the wicked three, but his hope was quelled. The tree beast succumbed to their foul magics. The raven took one last look as the cruel three circled their captured quarry. And so, the raven blinks and goes to find some more snails. So, we're going to end this flashback from a time long since past and move now to the present. Let's see how our players are doing. Last we left off, we were just heading out of Vallaki, but I want to talk about the level ups. We started this adventure at level 1, and now we're level 5, and I kind of want to get an idea from all of you how your characters are doing, what they look like, if anything's changed.
Quick clarifier. We started this at level 10.
Correct.
Or whatever.
Good point.
So, and then
we
went down.
We got knocked down.
Yeah.
So, feel free to elaborate on your journey as a character so far.
I'll start. So originally, Alfie started as a paladin sorcerer, and the paladin oath that he took was vengeance. Kind of vengeance on the horrible monster that is Strahd. And kind of after the experience of the last couple sessions, has decided that has recognized that he's exhausted, and that the way that he did things the first go around, he just doesn't have the energy to do anymore. And so now he's taken actually a new oath. He's taken the Oath of Redemption, and those are what my 2 paladin levels were in.
Amazing.
We'll see how it all plays out.
Who would like to go next?
Oh, I can go.
Yay!
Go on then. So Jaunty started out as a level 10 bard warlock, and is continuing relatively similar. When they went back to level 1, they were level bard. My words are not coming naturally today.
Level bar.
Yes. They were a bard. Went up to level 3, College of Spirits, and now since then, since the flashback in which the Eternal Muse actually had a positive influence, has remembered, oh, it wasn't as terrible as I remember. Yes, I'm a little bit bitter that I've been brought back to life 79 times by this deity, but, she's not that bad. She can be a force for good. So I have rekindled my my internship, my time under her.
Under my wing, darling.
Under your wing, Muse, yes. With another 2 levels of Undying Warlock.
Amazing.
Yes, I'll go. So originally, Memory was a Blight Druid, Swarmkeeper, Ranger, Archfey Warlock.
Easy peasy, yep.
Easy. A little bit more simple this time. So she is now a Circle of the Land Druid, 2 levels there, and then 3 levels of Archfey Warlock now. Again, I think finding better and more pure connections with the earth and what it's supposed to be. lost all of the Swarmkeeper, which is potentially why commanding a group of ghosts to do things is not as easy. And they just kind of stood there. But she's now gone with Pact of the Chain, but she doesn't have a familiar yet. So she's kind of going round, and all of the random ghosts and fake, like spirits and animal spirits that they're going on, she is being a little bit annoying. She's going around there going, would you like to be my familiar? I can offer you companionship, entrance. And then she's now just got a flock of them doing a trial round because she doesn't know exactly which one feels right.
Oh, amazing.
Technically, she hasn't got anything at the moment. She's got a bunch of just maybes.
Oh, that's awesome. Go on then, Astrid. Yeah.
Then I think I'm next. Well, Sora started as level 10 barbarian half ogre in the Path of the Giant. She's pretty oblivious, not has the longest term memory ever. She just goes where the wind takes her because basically she always gets lost, but she doesn't know. And in the same spirit, she's actually going the same way and doesn't know. So she's still just going Path of the Giant because in her mind there are candy and the fairies are somewhere. So she just wants to smash everything around to get to the candy.
It makes complete sense.
Everything
Amazing.
can be a pinata if you try hard enough.
Listen, we roll for everything to be a pinata, and sometimes candy comes out.
The bigger you are, the harder you can hit the piñata.
That's what I mean. Awesome. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how the adventure is shaping your character choices. I'm loving this. But yes, last time we left off, you kind of had the task of getting to the windmill in search of the two boys, Brum and Bray, and pastries. So you know, the windmill was easily visible, and you've seen it countless times through the windows in your bedrooms in the inn. Beyond the walls of Vallaki, the old Svalich Road winds east about a mile away. There's a fork in the road. To the right, there is a hill, atop which is perched this dilapidated windmill. And on the left of the fork, there is a winding path leading up to the ever-looming Castle Ravenloft, the home of dearest Strahd. But now the windmill calls, and we're going to pick up as you steadily make your way towards it. Over to you. There's just like a bunch of ghosts kind of going, I don't know who this one is, but I mean, we seem to need to keep following. I don't know why.
All together, and maybe we have a picnic at the end.
Picnic!
She knows we can't eat, right?
And neither can I.
Oh, God.
Neither can I.
Don't mind them. They're so hard to please.
You continue on, and the fork in the road approaches, and it's weird. You all get that kind of familiar, you've been here before, that drop in your stomach, that kind of dread feeling, that feeling that if you did go towards the castle, that's where the bad things happen. Can I get a group memory check? So that is a history check, and you add your character class modifier. So for Sora, that would be strength. Memory, I guess that would be either wisdom or charisma.
My charisma was actually really bad.
Strength check.
But if you multi, you can choose.
Are we adding our history?
History,
as well?
yeah. So it's a history check, but then add your class modifier.
I got 22.
Oh.
21.
17.
Oh, I got a natural 1. And then it's natural 1, no matter what.
That is on brand for Sora. Sora, you're just away with the literal fairies. You are thinking about, hey, wouldn't this place be nice if like candy was falling down all around me? Wouldn't that be amazing? The rest of you, with your memory, you get the weirdest sensation that you have been here before more than once. You've done this a few times, you think. It's strange. Deja vu is all around you.
Does anyone feel like we've experienced this place many times before?
Yeah. Real strong wave of deja vu.
No.
Well,
Well, I mean, it stands to reason that we might have been here, like, well, we have, memory has information about us being here before at least once. Could it be more than that? I mean, me and memory don't age the same as the rest of you. Are you the same age that you were, you think, when the last time we came here?
I mean, you can make a medicine check, Alfie, if you want to, and Sora, you can medicine check yourself. I'll say with advantage, because you know yourself, right?
Also, I'm assuming that memory doesn't age like regular mortals, but I might be wrong.
So,
Go back. I don't think so. I think, like, I do age, but I age much slower than I should.
Alright, got you.
so what did we get on our medicine checks to check ourselves?
18.
Okay.
Alfie is thrown into an existential crisis by the question because he rolled a 4.
Oh boy, like you
And
are
it's like,
examining a
wait,
new grey hair, and you're like, where did that come
Am
from?
I? Oh my god. Exactly.
With your 18, Sora, nothing's different. Everything's still, the scales are still attached. Like, your grandparents, you can tell that they're older than you because the scales tend to get a little bit more kind of dusty, a bit more matte. But no, you're fine. You're the same age. Talia / memory.
Look around the area and see if it may have been affected by our previous comings, like anywhere that Jaunty may have died.
Oh,
Crash truth brambles.
how
on
jolly!
No, so where Jaunty died, or somewhere that we may have snagged some fabric on something, or any areas of like defiled ground that look old. Like
Right. Of course, yes. You choose out of the two. I'm going to say either investigation or nature, whichever you think is more appropriate.
They are the same.
Cute.
Oh, that is a natural 20 for a
Nice.
23.
Which type of check did you make?
Actually, I'm going to say, based on the questions that I was asking that I was looking for, that seems very much more nature than investigation. So,
Okay.
I'm going to draw on that and those feelings.
So with your natural 20, you're absolutely certain that you can't see any signs of Jaunty's death. Right. Neither can you really see any sort of fabrics, but what you can see with your natural 20 is a blackthorn sprig. And there are tiny little dots, very, very tiny little dots of blight just on some of the leaves, some of the thorns. And you find it on the hill that is leading up towards the windmill area. And I'll say with that natural 20 as well, what you would see are marks in the mud from cartwheels that have gone up and down and crisscrossed over time.
Okay, no, here, this way, I think, and I'm going to go to start trying to dig it up out of the ground.
Okay. You're proficient with that. You understand the earth, right? I don't think you'd have to roll for that. But I would say the thing is thorny, so could you make a sleight of hand check for me just to make sure you don't, in your hurry to do it, you don't hurt yourself?
Can I help?
Of course you can, but tell us how you're going to help.
By not thinking it through very much and going in like hands first, not even thinking about gardening, doing it very well. I'm just driven by instinct to be helpful.
Are we going to have a ghost moment? So are you going to sort of have your hands round the branch and then Memory's going to put her hands round yours?
Yes, and then I will use guiding whispers to have an extra ghost in the
Amazing.
situation. A ghost
Amazing.
threesome, if you will.
Yeah, just a sandwich of ghosts.
Yeah.
They all appear.
An actual gardener just appears very confused.
Hand on his hip. He's got the other hand on a spade, kind of leaning. Memory, what did you get for your check?
Well,
wait, I didn't ask you to roll a check, did I? No, it's sleight of hand. I did.
The sleight of hand. Does help give me advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That's better. That's a 13.
13.
That's
Okay.
better.
I'm happy that Jaunty's there. Jaunty is impacted by the thorns, but it just so happens it's in the parts of Jaunty's fingers that they can't feel anymore.
Hooray.
Yeah.
More
but
good news.
but Memory, you're able to then find a non-thorny section and retrieve. It's quite a big branch.
This feels important and mine? It feels like mine, and it feels like not here. It feels like home.
A branch feels like, oh, you are a tree. Sort of.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's very pejorative of me.
it's fine, I am.
It is true.
It is. But it feels like my home. Like from outside of Barovia.
Oh.
Usually I would say that this was some sort of terrible trick, illusion, etc., but it's been a strange last 24 hours or so. So I think that sounds reasonable.
You know, I think it's very nice. I'm glad you found a slice of home, but we do have some children to stop being made into pies.
Indeed.
The tracks go that way.
Excellent.
It was less of a priority a second ago.
Do we see anything like in that direction? Like, is it just like, yes, keep going that way, and then there's more open landscape and such?
I'll say, like, as you're having this conversation surrounding Memory and her branch, that you have kind of reached the peak of this particular incline. There you see the scene before you, which is one slightly hilly rise, atop which there are 4 standing stones, but beyond that, very, very visible, a much larger hill. There's a windmill on top of it, but all of that, I'm going to say, is about 500 foot away from you, is quite a way. The standing stones are closer, I would say about 120 foot away from you at this point.
Something I forgot about, by the way, is I definitely shouldn't have tried to help with the branch, because any plants I touch take necrotic damage.
Oh.
So we can just say maybe that the thorns went into my fingers and they just kind of, they necroticed away. I hope I didn't damage the home
think the
tree.
thorns went into your fingers and then you went, ooh, but the thorns ripped out as you did that and they took the damage.
Yep.
And the branch did not.
I think there's a ghost between me and you as well. That's where the ghost is.
Yep. Yep. That's
Giving you gardening tips.
Yeah.
Like, you are getting, oh, well, if you put that in ground and put some water in it, it could grow.
Fun. When I get back home, there's the bare spots are perfect places to go and put some strapping to strap it to the top of my my magic staff.
You could certainly do that.
Thank you, Jaunty.
No problem. How?
Jaunty, you would recognize the scene, because you witnessed it firsthand as you reach this top.
Yeah, we've definitely been here before. Do I remember anything specific, like a feeling? Or is it just familiarity?
So you've seen this with the scrying most recently. You saw the standing stones as the cart went beyond towards the windmill. In terms of feeling for you specifically, could you roll me a separate memory check, please?
Sure. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
It's fuzzy. The only recollection that you have, or the kind of memory that you get right now, is it's really hard to scrape something into rock, into stone. You remember the feeling of having to do that, and it's really, really difficult.
Huh. Hey, does anyone remember carving things into stone?
You can all make memory checks if you like.
15.
19.
1 second. I can't find for the life of me where the memory check is.
If you roll a history check and then add your strength modifier to it.
Oh, the history check.
Yeah, sorry. It's not an actual real check on the thing. It's something that something that Liz made up.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's my bad.
Okay, history check. 4.
Okay,
and then
again. And then plus your strength modifier.
So 9.
Okay, not too bad. Sora, unsure. Like stone and carving stuff into it, maybe you remember. The rest of you can confirm that you don't. It's not really a sensation that you remember doing or having anything to do with.
Are there any traces of like magic?
Ooh, interesting.
Because if it's hard for someone to do naturally, was there any magical assistance into making this happen?
Make an Arcana check.
Key. $11, not super great.
If any magic's happened around here, it was possibly a long time ago. The closest sort of thing to magic that you can see would be maybe the formation of those stones on the hill, but that could be to do with a ritual. Hard to say, but that's that number.
Okay, question. Should we
Yes.
go and have a look at the standing stones? Or should we beeline for the children?
Children are with the pastries. The pastries are with the oven. I vote children. How's everyone else?
Logistically, when you were scrying on the kids, I can't remember them, did they look like pastry ready?
They looked plump and ready for the pot.
Ooh.
I assume, Liz, is that correct?
I'll go with that description, Evie. That's totally
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I mean, they hadn't been marinated or anything yet. So that's something.
I guess if the standing stones are something that would be really useful to us, I'd have wanted to go there first. But if the kids are in like mortal peril, I'll feel really bad.
Just to maybe help that moral quandary, the standing stones are on the way. Like you're gonna pass them anyway. But I mean, you can ignore them. Feel free. But they are on the way.
I could just do a cheeky detect magic as we walk past.
Yeah. Easy peasy. I think Alfie otherwise would be like, we know that this place is a place where all decisions are punished. And at least the decision to go after children hopefully means better outcomes for the children. So, cheeky detect magic? Sounds great. Maybe a quick, yes, investigation. Behold. Something like that. But if we don't get it, we can come back to it. The standing stones probably won't move. The children might.
Yes.
So I'm going to say that you continue towards the standing stones, which you would be doing anyway, because they're on the way. You see them there. Fun fact, they are standing. And they are moss covered. I think memory would perhaps pick up on the moss straight away. But the moss is kind of indented, and that is where there are kind of etchings in these stones. I'm gonna say memory, you'd pick up on this anyway. You can see that the earth beneath these has been disturbed. I guess if the gardener is still with you as well, he'd be like, that earth looks great for, planting stuff in. You could just chuck a couple of seed in there, pop some water in, Bob's your uncle. Jaunty, you would see... Yeah, there are certain scorings in these stones, which you remember seeing from your scrying. The first has a bit of decorative armor kind of scored into it. The next has a caped figure with cherry blossom. The next, a pair of boots with an elven theme. The next has a ring, which appears to have a little fairy kind of scored very crudely on top. You all get the vibe that they've been intentionally marked, but maybe they weren't on the stones originally. That's what you would see. But if anyone wants to detect magic, they may.
I'll do a detect magic.
Go for it. Can you read me the words of detect magic? Just in terms of like if there's barriers, like the distance between you and the magical item.
Yes. So for the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears the magic, and you learn the school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
You detect 4 magical pings. They are beneath the earth.
One question. Was the moss covering the carvings, or were they able to see?
Kind of. The moss is kind of on top. You can might make out the bottom of the carvings. You can make out the whole carving, but halfway up them, the moss has crept into the crevices.
Because I was thinking, okay, maybe Jonty should just touch the moss so it goes necrotic and we see the whole carving.
I wouldn't want to offend memory. I mean, this might be a cousin.
Just to go back to the detect magic, as for School of Magic, I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I can let you know if you absolutely need to know. There's no
that's always the worst.
There's no like evocation. It's not like if you were looking for an evocation trap kind of thing, you're not getting that vibe.
Okay, and just for flavour, the way that I cast detect magic is I take the Tarocco deck and I put it in a circle around me, and then the magic items kind of get a beam from a corresponding card, like a kind of quest marker.
Nice. Bing. Bing, bing, bing.
I think there are items here. Like, is trap? Trap? Mayhaps. Or something good if we remember carving stone. I'm inclined to say the latter.
Could it be a piñata? Because if he has things inside, it could be candy.
It could be roll a D100,
candy.
please, Astrid. Let's just see if we are going to find one. 80 plus. There's a piñata in there somewhere.
94!
You're fairly confident that there is a buried piñata in the earth.
I'd like to cast Detect Pinata.
How old is the moss?
Can you make a nature check with advantage, please? Was that a natural one?
Double ones. They knocked
2 ones. Oh no.
They made buns.
So memory, as you're moving in to inspect the moss, you accidentally knock Jaunty, whose hand places on all 4 of these stones somehow in this freak accident, and the moss all just fizzles away. You before you get a chance to look, it's gone.
I was gonna talk to the moss. I was gonna talk to myself to ask them if they knew what buried things there, if it was good or bad.
Now they're dead.
Make an investigation check for me, memory. Let's see if there's any moss that hasn't been deceased due to this tornado of a freak accident.
I'm sorry.
What am I?
Say again.
The investigation?
Yeah.
9.
Oh.
I think I'm distraught.
There's a tiny clump of remaining moss that's near a toadstool. But it's near the end. But if you want to talk to it, you can.
I think I'm just gonna try and take it and some earth and then just embed it within the blackthorn that's on the stuff and just try so it can just like grow.
Okay.
And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Maybe I need some gloves.
No, it was cool. It went poof.
This has
I'm a
all gotten
murderer.
quite dramatic.
Has anyone got a shovel?
Can I say that I have a shovel?
You can absolutely say you have, but tell us how you found it.
That was all part of the like adventure requisition process. Was like there was a lot of very distinct haggling with the various members of the town to get the best prices on all the various things. And so it was like hardcore of like, well, obviously we need a shovel because of that one time where we had to dig up the coffin, and we had to do that with our hands, and I am not doing that again. It ruined my nails for weeks. And so a lot of just kind of like, all right, what are all the worst things that happened while we were here, and can I address them in a bargain bin kind of style?
Yeah, you've got this shovel. It is a bit rusty. It would not function as a weapon, but for shoveling dirt, you're fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And he would happily just like go over and just like start doing the digging himself.
So Alfie's gonna start digging. Memory's having a little minute with her moss.
Can I desperately just kind of pat Memory with the butt scratcher? There, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do it.
Druid crafting tethers for the kind of. It's fine. And it was an accident. It was my fault anyway.
No, it's my fault. I've got the hands of a murderer. The fingers of death.
I should be more situationally aware about things.
We both suck.
All right, everyone.
No, and I feel Sora will be with John. Like, no, do it again.
I want to be supportive of you talking through your emotions, but it is making it very hard to dig.
Oh, because digging's so hard.
Oh,
Just-
take
there's a lot of
some
distraction.
psychic damage, Abby. Take some psychic damage from that sick
Vicious
burn.
mockery.
Hey, if you want to have the person who doesn't have 18 strength doing the digging, by all means. But
Can I do the digging instead? Let's just
no, it's already started. Now it's a point. Now I have to make a point. It's my shovel.
Abby, you do the best digging that you've ever done. And as you do, Sora, you begin to see what looks like a lot of pink kind of paper mache. Like a lot. Like, and as Abby kind of keeps going, kind of tears into some of it. This thing is huge. Like, this thing encompasses the entire area between all of the stones.
Would you say it is a large object mechanically?
Correct.
Oh.
Do you keep digging, Abby?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's weird, but what isn't here?
You keep on digging and you see that you are unveiling what looks like the biggest pinata you've ever seen. Constructed from not very great substances, most of which appear to be rotting at this point. But yeah, you kind of smash through it.
I need to ask. Sora, did you bury this here? Do you remember? Was this you?
Oh, it's first time I'm here. I've never seen this place.
But like, really think about it. I mean, no pressure, but like, it's become, I don't know why, but it's very important to me that I know this.
I mean, burying a piñata sounds like something I
It
would think
really
of
does.
doing, but I really don't remember having been here before.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Anyway, well, he sticks out, like he holds out the shovel to you, and is like, well, it is a piñata. Would you care to smash it open? Carefully. I mean, we don't know what's in there. With restraint.
If bats fly out of this thing, I'm going to be so mad.
Smash.
Sorry, can you make an attack roll? Just press the attack roll button on D&D Beyond.
Yeah. It's not strength, right?
It's
Any
the-
attack, sorry.
Yeah.
So can I hand axe?
Go for it.
Good. 16.
16. Sora, I'm going to say you throw the hand axe. You throw it towards the apparent pinata buried in the earth. I'm going to say, Jaunty, you watch as the blade connects, and it actually connects with a very, very small drawing of an anatomical heart. It smashes right into that, and you all hear that fun little party noise. You know, that foo, like someone's blowing a little party blower. And I'm going to say, can you all make dexterity saving throws as 4 quite heavy items pop out?
9.
I kind of want to roll mine with disadvantage at them.
Okay.
I got a 7.
Okay.
Okay, that's still a 15.
Okay, 15 was what I was after. If you're 15 or higher, you do not get hit in the face by a magical item. If you got lower than a 15, you do, and you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. It just so happens, the magical items that have fallen your direction, you kind of recognize. Abby, yours is like a very decorative piece of armor. It has your family crest on it. Memory, there's a bundled up cape. And you're quite a sensory person, aren't you? Quite a sensory character. It smells like home. Sora, a ring, very small, but manages to clock you right on the forehead as it then falls in your palm. It has a very kind of basic stone on it, but you know, like the swirl on the top of a cupcake. It's carved in that way on this ring. And Jaunty, a full-on pair of boots hit you in the face, and they have got a curled toe with a little bell on the end of them.
Do they match my outfit?
Do you want them to match your outfit?
Yes.
In which case, they do. Absolutely.
My
match your
boots!
outfit. So yeah, you have all retrieved some items that maybe you had a long time ago. Can you tell us what items you've got and if there's any associated memory with having them? Again.
I can go.
Sure.
So my 1 faded red and 1 faded blue boots are boots of elven kind. And I first acquired these after my 18th death when the bells on my jester's outfit were getting me killed a lot. Cannot stealth with bells on. It just doesn't work. But these boots, we managed to haggle for them in a town centre somehow. And with these, I now have advantage on stealth checks and can move silently while still maintaining the bell riz with half of my bells.
Awesome. Sora, do you want to tell us about your item?
Yeah, it's a ring. It's very shiny. So I remember how I got it, right?
Oh, tell us. Yeah, go for it. You tell me. Go for it.
Because I remember once I was trying to go to a barbecue, and then I ended up killing a bunch of things and getting a sword. And then after that, I do think I did get to the rodeo, because then I just remember that it was like mountains and everything really difficult, but I saw the very shiny ring. And when I was using the ring, I just run, and all the cows and all the bulls from the barbecue, they were really slow next to me. So I managed to get them all, and the rodeo people were happy. So they gave me barbecue after.
I love that story so much. And like, I just want to follow that story. Like, I'd love a game that just was that adventure. Anyway, okay. Talia, can you tell us about your magical item, please?
Have nature's mantle. So it basically helps you blend into the background of the environment around you, and it means that you can hide on bonus actions.
Nice.
So I think I remember this kind of just a little girl stealing it from my parents' closet, using it for like some very epic games of hide and seek, except for my parents didn't know that they were playing hide and seek. And this did cause a village-wide panic.
Oh, shoot.
Trying to find this small child running around the town, hiding and, power, burgeoning powers. Look, imagine magic powers on a 5-year-old.
Oh, I love it.
And just complete and utter chaos. Just running around, hiding anytime she thinks someone sees her, and then leveling up. And eventually they had to use actual tracking spells and then just picking this up. And I think that's when they started giving her a more formal education. But she just remembers that day and kind of playing with the entire village. They did not know that they were playing.
Oh, that's amazing. I adore that. Nathan, can you go ahead and tell us what you get?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what this armor is. Mechanically, I'll update everyone once I finish Googling. But this is like ancestral armor kind of thing, where this was something that that has been passed down in his family for a long time. His family being nobles, kind of has access to these sorts of things. And it was one of those things where it was a big deal that he got it. Kind of being the eldest brother, he kind of got first dibs on it. Even though he wasn't particularly trained in it, he still really wanted the fancy armor for the family. And, it was something that he had brought with him, I think, into Barovia. Probably had a servant carrying it, probably a servant who has long since turned to madness.
It was probably me.
Or maybe it was Jaunty carrying it for him, because I don't think at the time he could have even worn it appropriately. But, it really became something that he really appreciated in kind of this land of danger and scarcity, where he got that connection to his family and got the connection to the outside world and really understood like, oh no, this is actually very, very amazing that I got this thing. And it is magical armor. And again, it is one of those things that is almost like semi-legendary from where he's from, kind of their little neck of the woods, wherever that is. And so he treated it flippantly, but it is actually a big deal that he has it. And it didn't even occur to him that he didn't have it, like it such was the kind of memory loss that he's like, oh my God. Oh, this was gone. And he's looking at it and turns to Sora and is like, I hope that this was not your pinata, or I do hope it was your. Doesn't matter. Good to see this again.
Nothing bad ever comes out of a piñata.
Oh, don't tempt me with that, Astrid. Oh my God. Amazing. Yes, you all have these items, and you do take the time to kind of look them over and talk among yourselves about what memories come back as a result. And I will say, if you need to attune to them, you can, as part of that conversation. Sadly, there's no candy in the piñata. Sorry, you do check, but hopefully the magical items were candy enough in this instance.
It's okay, the item is very shiny.
You're getting quite a good view, actually, from where you currently are. There is the creaking windmill on the... It's kind of... You're on a smaller hill, and there's kind of like a slight valley dip below, which then rises up to the higher hill on which the windmill stands. From where you are, you would see that the ground looks kind of rooty. It's like there's a knot of roots on the earth between you and the windmill. And I think from here, you would see, if you take the time to look over, the door's not ajar, the door's shut. There's the empty cart next to it, nothing's on there. Something weird about that door, there is an item in it that's moving. From this distance, really hard to tell what it is. But there's certainly something in the door that's kind of wedged in it, and it is moving.
Maybe the fairies are trapped in that door. I say we open the door.
Or it could be an eye to have a look at whoever is approaching. Maybe we should sneak around the back.
I can ask one of these guys if they want to go and have a look. I think I can do that.
Yeah, please do.
Who are you asking?
She's talking about ghosts, right?
She's talking about ghosts. Yes, we've been over
Oh,
this.
I think
Okay,
she was
just-
going to ask more moss.
Who seems like a volunteer? Probably someone who can talk. So I'm just going to sort of apologise to this little bunny who really was very enthusiastic, going, I don't think that you can help me this time because you can't report back. But next time, absolutely. You're very cute.
Kind of does that really slow hop away, with the ears slightly down.
I'm sorry. I feel bad. I made myself sad with the bunny. You look runnable.
I used to be a baker.
Good, you know ovens then. Hello,
I know ovens, yes.
can you go up that way and have a look?
What now?
Yes, please.
Okay. The person that you've asked, yes, is in full baker garb. That's what they died in. We won't ask how.
Oh, I could have the bunny. I can see through the bunny. Now I feel bad about the bunny.
The bunny kind of like leans over with the ears slightly up.
Okay, Baker, you can go. Bunny!
The baker's like, what is happening? And then turns around. The bunny kind of lollops over.
Could you run up? Because you'll be able to avoid any of the roots. You can go under the ground, be safe, and look, and then jump high and see what's going on inside. And then I will look through your eyes. Is that okay? Not if you give me permission.
Takes a little minute. Gives you a nod. And just puts its little paw on your shoe. And then begins to lollop off.
So I am using my familiar packs with my eyes glaze over. If something bad happens here, I can't do anything because I don't know what's going on. I'm looking. Sit on the ground and just eyes through the bunny's eyes.
Amazing. Yes, the bunny begins to kind of burrow down into the ground. It does take a little hot minute. And I think, Memory, from your point of view, there's just a lot of darkness. Seeing the little paws going through the earth. I think at this point, the other three, you guys, you see that there's a raven kind of circling above you.
Do ravens normally circle in that manner?
Are you asking Liz the DM or are you asking the group?
I'm asking the universe.
Sure. Universe, do let us know.
Okay, do I know if ravens do this?
They do.
I'm gonna say make a nature check.
Okay, what's my nature like? Oh, I've actually got +3.
Hey.
So that's a 19. So 21. No, 19, 20, 21, 22.
They absolutely do that. But this one appears to be on a downward spiral. Again, that's something that they do, but it seems to be intentional.
Huh. Okay, raven's coming. It could be a were-raven. This is Barovia. So, hang on. I already rolled on my bard table for Tales from the Beyond. I just tuck a card into Sora's armor in case we need to kill a raven or a were-raven. Take that. And you get a plus... what was it? I rolled a 5, which is the Tale of the Avenger, which means you get an extra d6 force damage to any melee attacks.
Nice.
Awesome.
Get ready to receive the raven.
Quoth, the raven begins to circle down and it does land on one of the standing stones, cocks its head towards you. It then kind of hops off. Does that kind of raven hop skip thing that ravens do? But most birds do, to be fair, not just ravens. And as it takes its second step, it morphs into the figure of Danica, the barkeep. I couldn't just sit at home. You have more power than I could ever hope to have. But so do they. And I thought, if you get my boys, I would like to be here for them.
Very dangerous choice that you have just made. Though understandable.
If it's okay, I would like to stay as a raven. Just until they are safe. I can keep watch from the sky. I can do whatever you need, but I just want to be here when you have got them.
That sounds okay. We're not actually very good babysitters. Just, if we die, tell our story, I guess.
Okay.
Tell the story to the cop. The cop will make a good story out of it.
The sexy policeman who tells stories. Yeah.
I've heard about him. He's in the town. She's like super interested in this guy. He's like, in that town. It's not that I'm interested, Hopping back to the bunny. The bunny has just popped out near the door. And then begins to kind of lollop around, looking into the windows, but they're quite high up. Could you roll for me a d20? And we're going to add an acrobatics score of 2.
Everyone.
Come on.
Oh no, just memory, please.
You can do it. I believe in you.
One. Oh my god, you're on fire today.
That dice is going away.
Throw away the dice.
It rolled me the nat 20 the first time, and then it rolled me multiple ones.
So the bunny sees an open window and hops up, but bangs its head on like the what's it called? The ledge, the window ledge, the windowsill. Bangs its head and sadly falls unconscious for a brief moment because it knocked itself out. Then memory, you come back to you because the creature's unconscious.
Oh. Should have gone for the baker.
Did they get the rabbit?
They bounced underneath the windowsill and he's a ghost bunny. And now he's unconscious.
Oh, is he a ghost bunny? Sorry, I thought it was an actual bunny that started to follow you.
I thought
I may have picked an actual bunny by mistake. I thought he was a ghost. I think I picked an actual bunny.
You did.
Went outside your wheelhouse.
Because that's how it burrowed under the earth and came back out again.
Why?
Memory, you see that Danica suddenly is stood with you all.
Did we lose our memories again? Did she come with us?
Arrived a moment ago, was a raven following us, then came down and said, wants to be here for the kids, essentially. We said, cool, just tell our story if we die.
Yeah.
What story would you like me to tell of you, Memory?
Just give me a nice piece in the garden to live in.
Okay. I will do that. Do you want to make an insight check for me, please?
Through dice. It's not big enough.
Come on, natural one.
No. That's 22.
22. Oh, she looks like she will certainly try, but then give up very rapidly to do that for you.
Just anywhere behind the pub in the inn where there's some soil, and just plant me there.
Okay.
And then I'll give you good fortune.
Okay. I mean, we always need good fortune.
Cool.
Uh,
Don't do it on purpose, because then it will be bad fortune. So if you try and kill me to give you good fortune, then I'll haunt you.
I think I'd have a hard time trying to kill you.
Side check.
Oh, go for it.
I like to imagine you say that in character.
Yes.
This conversation really escalated. From, I want to be here while you rescue my children, to, are you going to murder me?
18.
18. She would not have the means to murder you, even if she wanted to.
Just kidding.
Okay. So do you have like a plan?
No.
There's 3 of them, I think.
Okay.
There's the old woman, who I think is nice, but then there's another 2, which I don't think they're very nice at all.
Hear me out, team. What if we split up and go into different entrances? So we have them surrounded.
So I feel like this is probably a good time to tell you that there's only one door, but there are many windows. You look over, and this thing is over like 3 stories high. I would say at its very top, it's about 50 foot high. And the windows do look big enough for people to go into and not bang their heads like a poor unfortunate bunny that's still unconscious underneath the window.
Oh, well, I am not much one for stealthy actions in this new plate armor, or just really at all. Maybe we don't have to resort to violence. We can simply say hello.
Oh.
We're here for children. Just these children, hopefully, and maybe any others. And, we try to figure out, there was some prophecy, blah, blah, blah. You have some sort of secret to our past, our memory, blah, blah, blah. But who knows? And then we also have kind of a separate strike team going up separately.
And then we
and
kill
hedge bets.
I'm going to be in the team talking to them, aren't I?
Well, up to you. I will be.
I guess I have to be.
You're a sneaky individual.
You could be Team Sneaky Killy.
I could. I'm also, I mean, no disrespect, one of somehow the more charismatic individuals in this party.
I connect with the people. I have a certain rapport.
I like to think that when you say I connect with the people, like the ghost around memory, like, he's got a point. He's connected with me. I don't even know him. But yeah, sure thing, make a history check.
Don't tell him that inflates his own ego and then he becomes annoying. That is straight up out loud.
Yeah.
Hang on. Okay, so I rolled a 3.
Yeah.
Passed. To bump it up a little bit. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Some people you've seen Alfie connect with, sure. I guess they've been connected. Whatever that means, Jaunty. I mean,
this is a new Alfie too. This is a been through the ringer, connected, kind of to a new purpose kind of individual. He's not quite the same level of intense and of whatnot. Who's to say? Maybe he'll surprise you.
If you want to try it, we're all trying new things. Go for it. Go for it, my lord, or whatever.
That is canonically, that's how the royals in our segment of the world are greeted.
My lord or whatever.
My lord or whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Please remember that they did feed us kiddie pies, and not like pies for children, but pies of children, we're pretty sure.
Did they?
And
what if you were the health inspector?
Well, now that I feel like in my limited experience, that will actually make them more aggressive to us than if we were just simply kind of adventurers who may or may not kill them. It's an
I
interesting
imagine-
dynamic.
I imagine that's what happened to us last time. Is I went in with a fake moustache saying, "Hello, I am the health inspector."
That does
and was
actually
immediately
sound
killed.
very familiar now that you mention it. No, I will just, I will say, hey, hello, we're not here to cause any trouble. And just try to speak as people do.
Astrid, you want to say something?
Sora votes violence. Like if they fit the kitty pies, Sora votes violence.
Oh, I'm extremely open to violence, to be clear. But I'm trying to put better energy into the world, at least first. Give people the chance to not turn to violence, but then aggressively meet violence with violence.
I mean,
Can
even
we
cannibals
work
that eat children.
I didn't hear what you
Maybe
said. What?
Sorry.
Does that apply to cannibals who eat children and kidnap them as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
oh no, Abby, no.
Oh no, I'm saying you start with the hello. You kind of confirm that these are the facts. And then, I mean, there really isn't like a lot of kind of immediate redemption that's available to child cannibals.
No.
Hello, are you eating children because of a curse, and would you like us to remove the curse? If yes, then good. If no, then murder.
Are you willing to atone for your crimes in some sort of civic-minded, community-approved way, for example? Those are all not necessarily steps that need to go through, but, things that I'm trying to embody a little bit more as we kind of proceed through this second version of our journey.
Mr. Abby, only because I'm watching Danica's face and I think that we're maybe taking too much time discussing the moral quandaries.
Oh, I figure we've been just walking this whole time.
All right, Danica's like, I'm sorry, but make your mind up, okay? Because I don't. If they are going to eat my children, I swear, they've not got a lot of time left, and I'm beginning to panic. And yeah.
No,
I think we need a code word. You can talk to them, but if they don't react well, let's agree on one word that when you say, I can go violence. And then fire.
Okay.
Any suggestions?
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
Is that pineapple?
Pineapple muffins. Like someone goes, oh, this seems very interesting. Do you have any pineapple muffins?
And that's cool.
It's more of a phrase, but I think that should be fine. You will know. I can't imagine it will come up organically in conversation, so I feel like that is a good signal.
It won't come up organically, but it's contextually similar enough that they won't be confused.
So my question to you lot is, as you're having this conversation, like who is going first? Who's going to be the person going to the door? Okay. Abby, as you approach the door, followed by everybody else, unless anyone is staying behind,
or followed by nobody else. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I'm fine with.
Circling around
Like,
to windows.
to be clear.
All right. So let's go a stealth check from the people circling around the windows, because they're open. People would see you. And then we'll
Can
go
I
for
go
Abby.
with Alfie through the door? Because then I need to hear the code word, but I won't talk because I don't have charisma.
I love it. Absolutely. Yes. Jaunty, what?
22 on stealth.
Lovely. Memory.
Same.
Lovely. Yeah, you are
Seems
able
sneaky.
to identify 2 windows on the base. There's no one on the ground floor. You see the central section kind of whirring slowly. I'm going to say that you can hear voices from within through these windows, but they're on the floor above. Hopping back to Abby and Sora at the door, there's a massive eyeball kind of fused into the wood of this door. The wood of this door does not look very well. It looks quite blighted, shall we say. The wood itself is kind of fused around this giant eyeball, which kind of focuses on you. You see the iris kind of swoop down as it really focuses. You two by the windows, you hear voices from above. What languages do you speak? So that would
Not
be
many.
Memory and Jaunty. What languages do you speak?
I only speak common.
Amazing.
A few of them. Give me a quick list. Common, Druid, Elvish, Infernal, and Sylvan.
Sylvan was the one I was after. You hear Memory. You would hear in Sylvan. Morgantha, someone's at the door. You then hear, does he look handsome? How did you know it was he? Shut up. You know where to keep the two little ones. Keep them quiet. Keep them in the loft. I'll go down and speak to him. Abby and Sora, what are you doing?
I was very into Astrid's act out earlier of poking the eyeball.
Yeah.
Like, again,
Okay.
Alfie is like, he's not lawful stupid. Like, he knows the kind of place vaguely that he's walking into. This is again more of like, no, I'm a paladin of redemption now, and I have to technically I should talk to people first, even if it's just as a long-term distraction for people sneaking around. But he's also not like, I don't know, he's not overly concerned about not poking the eyeball in the door, I guess is the point. So he's actually kind of fine with starting it out that way.
Okay. So who's doing the poking?
Probably Sora. She was curious.
Roll to poke. Roll a d20 and add your strength modifier. Like you would just make a standard attack.
And then the strength modifier. 14 plus 5, 19.
19. You prod the eye, at which point you hear kind of like a siren from the inside. As you prod the eye, the door then opens, and you see before you a very large-looking woman with grey hair that kind of tumbles all the way down to her shoes. She's wearing a very mouldy shawl, and as she kind of looks up at you, her head and body kind of rise up to kind of take up the entire width of the entire door. Hello. How can I help you?
Greetings, ma'am. Who may I be addressing?
Why do you ask?
Politeness, I suppose.
And the one behind you that poked my eye.
Squishy.
I am sure that she would also like to know your name so as to better have civilized conversation.
I'm Morgantha.
Ma'am. He kind of does like a little bit of a bow.
She rolls her eyes. What are you doing at my doorstep? We don't do cold calls here.
There's a few things, I would say. First, we are we've been around here for some time, the land of Barovia. We're not originally from here, you see. And, we have been trying to retrace some of our steps. We've had, how this place is, some problems with memory, with whatnot. And, we have kind of been led to the impression that we have perhaps been here or that you were familiar with us in some sort of way. And so I was and he's like going on and trying to tell this story in the like longest possible way.
As you're doing that, she's messing with something in her hand. She kind of licks it and is kind of pulling it around. It looks like it looks like the thorns that Jaunty and Memory were playing with. She's kind of crushing it in her hands. Would you like to come in?
I believe our business can be conducted right here.
What about your friends around the back? Would they like to come in? The ones looking in the window, just there. When she says there, jaunty, you're like, oh, looking through the window.
Can I make? Oh, wait. So, like, are they clearly visible? Like, where there's no amount of like deceiving?
They were not visible while they were upstairs, but since she's come back down and you're having this conversation, she's been looking around. The eyeballs played a part in her vision as well, and she's been able to detect Memory and Jaunty. But Memory, you had a question.
I was going to say since Jaunty only speaks common, I have been using, I think, like Druidcraft to literally translate everything.
Right, okay.
For Jaunty the entire time from when we first started. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if we'd have just started trying to make a move.
Got you.
I probably have set up message so you could reply in my head as well.
Do you want to have that conversation? Do you want to work out what you two are doing in this moment?
No. I can make a big tree and we can climb it and then get into the loft.
That might work, but it sounds quite loud.
It does give a faint... Yes, we don't know. But it might be. But if you get like Sora to maybe fall over and knock on something by accident.
That's true. Oh, I could minor illusion a sound in the other direction that will cover it.
Maybe, and I think that's when she says, and then they're over there, and we're like...
Did I understand the conversation? No, right? They were talking in their language.
I don't think you... Oh, wait. So the conversation the hags were having inside, you did not hear. They were having it in Sylvan, which is the language that Memory can speak. Memory translated that, I think, to Jaunty, but to no one else. Yeah, so... Sorry, you did not hear that conversation. You've heard the conversation with her, you, and Abby at the door. So I think at that point where she kind of points out Memory and Jaunty, I think in the two windows behind her on the ground floor, she finishes whatever she's crumbling in her hand, and as an action, she's summoning something. And let me tell you what is happening right now. All of you would feel a rumble beneath your feet, and the earth surrounding this windmill begins to crack, splitting open as a huge bark-covered fist shoots up from beneath its surface. It then slams into the ground, and the force of its impact makes the earth kind of tremble once more. Soil erupts, kind of cascading from a second-long limb, rising up and crashing down, this time kind of grasping the broken ground where all these roots were, and heaving forth what looks like a very old tree form, this huge lumbering tree, bark permeated by aberrant roots, which pulsate with a sickly green glow. These invasive trembles kind of emanate from the center of a strange metallic object embedded in this thing's heart. Memory, you see this and you recognize this as Twiggy, but something is wrong and something has changed. His eyes are oozing a vile green substance, and though his gaze falls on you, he does not know you at all. And that's where we're going to take our break. We will see you very soon. And we are back. Yes. What happened last time? Well, we're currently in a situation where you may be starting combat against a whole coven of hags, oh boy, and a somewhat corrupted tree blight. Could you all roll initiative for me, please?
Just jumping straight in.
Just jumping straight in. Let's do it.
5?
5 for Jaunty. Starting strong.
19.
8.
19 for Abby, 8 for Sora, and Memory.
15.
Was that 15?
15.
Brilliant.
Sora, remember you have an extra d6 of force damage on all your melee attacks.
D6, thank you, Jaunty.
And please, unless you've already done so, please make sure your new magical items are equipped and attuned. which I'm sure you have done already.
I just decided to go with the basic since you said a +2. I just went a basic dwarven plate. Easy peasy.
Nice.
No extra fun mechanics that I have to be like, excuse me, Liz, is it fine if I can also cast Finger of Death? Don't worry, it's definitely balanced.
I'm going to go ahead and start Morgantha's turn. Because she's first in combat, Nathan. What is she going to do? Well, as aforementioned, she's feeling quite hench today. She is going to decide to assess the situation before her. She's got two pretty strong-looking people in front of her. Who is she going to go try to cuddle? It's a very important question. Okay.
And I was closest.
Alfie, she's going to be going for you. She kind of shuffles towards you, but the hands lead the momentum of the rest of her body as her arms seem to elongate and wrap around you. Let's see if this is going to hit or whether she's going to miss you entirely. I've got a 24 to hit. You're on mute, Nathan.
Oops, sorry about that.
Okay.
Oh, that does hit.
Okay.
Except I don't want it to hit. So I'm going to say
Okay.
that Alfie, being quick on his toes and being very realistic, this is probably not going to go well, right? But I need to try. Was still has not lost the sense of danger that got him through, again, 10 levels of Barovia in the first place, and just sees out of the corner of his eye as this huge tree is animating. He's like, wait a second, I think I know that tree. Sees these horrible hands come around and try to grab him. And he very quickly says a prayer, and a shield goes up around him, so that is ungrabbed. So she was only met with just kind of this like divine resistance around him. And he just shakes his head and is like, could have handled this peacefully. And he's like slowly like getting out his weapon and his shield's like, we could have done it in a nice way. And we, I thought we were, set up to have a nice conversation, ma'am. And well, here we are. And now consequences.
I just wanted you to come inside. She hugs this divine energy. How does she feel about that? Let's find out. It's been a long time since she hugged anything that divine, and deeply inside her crooked heart, she liked it a little bit. Anyway, that ends her turn. It is Alfie's turn next. What would you like to do? You are in very close combat with her.
Yeah, he's gonna hit her like really hard in the face with his magic weapon. Is the plan, I think, generally.
Roll to hit.
So he takes out his mace, which again, as a reminder, is like this big like orb like sensor filled with incense on a chain, and he just takes a couple swings. Again, he's just like, we were having, I thought, such a productive conversation, and he goes and just goes and just does a big kind of overhand, just like boom down on them, and that's a 21 to hit.
You know what? That hits. Please roll your damage for us, please. She just wanted a hug, Nathan. Well,
so she takes 16 points of damage. 6 of that is radiant. And I think to kind of prove a point, it feels worth it to go ahead and just throw a little extra pepper on top of there, a little extra seasoning for the baker, and go ahead and do a divine smite as well.
Do it.
Just because, why not? That's the fun thing to do. And I don't see the button on D&D Beyond for me just to click 2d8, so I'm just going to do that anyway.
Go for it.
That's another 12 points of radiant damage on top of that.
Can
so just this explosion of radiant energy, one after the other. And Abby is just like, for shame.
So that was your first attack. So the visual in my mind is she's gone in for this hug, been hugged a shield. You see a slight smile on her face because she kind of likes it, but then there's this like explosion of divine energy as she's like clocked underneath the chin. That's the first attack. You get a second attack, right? You don't.
Not anymore, Liz, because a certain GM took all those fun high-level things like 2 attacks away from me, at least for one more session.
Which asshole GM was that, Nathan?
I mean, that's. I think everyone in the chat should really think about that.
If you know who that was in chat, please do let us know, because I'm at a loss. Does that end your go, Nathan?
I believe that will end my turn, yes.
Got you. Cool. Amazing. All right. So, from above, I guess everyone would hear the shuffling of feet, quite quickly, actually. And then a very ugly head pokes out of one of the second floor windows. Well, first floor, ground floor, first floor, second floor, right? First floor windows. Her skin is kind of a mottled purple, and she even has slight horns kind of protruding from her crown of her head. She's going to look out the window.
Can I do a quick reaction to this spot? Alfie, in a clear, loud voice, accustomed to being listened to, says, "Pineapple muffins." And now that's the end of the turn.
Now we know.
Pineapple muffins. Thank you.
Sora, you now know what is happening. Okay. So we are going to, hope you didn't find that too offensive. So we are going to go back to Ophelia, who's just stuck her head out the window looking at... It's going to be Jaunty she's looking at.
Just
A
looking
little
right.
gnarled finger pokes out of the window, pokes your direction, and lightning begins to jut from her horrid fingernail. Jaunty, you should make a dexterity saving throw as lightning bolt is coming your way.
I can try. Oh no, that is a 10.
That was not what you needed, Jaunty.
No, it was not.
Let's see how much damage you are going to take. That'll be 20 points of lightning damage to you.
Dear God. Okay, I'm on 7 hit points for the party's
question.
knowledge.
Oh no. Quick question. How far away is that from us?
So that is first floor, I'm going to say 30 foot away.
30 feet away. Well, that's a very interesting and specific
Very
number
squat windmill.
that you use.
Well, because the whole thing's like 50 foot. Yeah.
What about 30 feet away is exactly the amount of feet that I was hoping that you would say, because Abby clocks that, kind of this extra, hag has kind of come onto the scene and presumably fired a bolt at a compatriot.
Correct.
And this is a new Alfie, may I remind you all. This is an Alfie who is trying to do violence second as opposed to first and second. And Alfie looks at this creature, kind of looks past the hag in the doorway and just says, "Very inhospitable." And as a reaction, he is going to use his channel divinity, which is rebuke the violent. And I would like for her to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Question, is this a reaction?
Yes, it is.
Great, okay. And reactions come back at the start of your turn, which you've just had. She's making what kind of saving throw, sorry?
Wisdom save, which probably, as a witch, probably has some decent ones, but that's fine.
How are you feeling? Let's see. She rolled a 12.
That is a failure. So that means that she, in turn, takes 20 points of radiant damage, takes exactly the amount of damage that she just put upon Jaunty. Because, hospitality is important, as is, again, a non-violent approach towards things whenever possible. And there need to be consequences. I'm
gonna roll to see how surprised she is by this. How shooketh does she feel? Oh my god, she was not expecting that at all. She sees the lightning bolt connect with Jaunty. There's that kind of wicked smile that she gets, but you see her eyes open as it kind of bounces straight back at her as radiant energy instead. Now she's got this horrid black greasy hair, which is now kind of a light with radiant energy. She's trying to put it out.
We could have had a nice conversation.
I loved that. That was amazing.
Unfortunately, Jaunty, you do still take the full damage. I have quadruple checked that to be sure, because that would have been much nicer if you hadn't. But at least at least there's payback.
Yes, quick question. She's
Yes.
not undead, is she?
No.
Damn. I have a thing where if an undead were to attack me, they need to think twice about it.
Oh.
But it's not relevant today.
Apologies. But with that amazing reaction, Memory, we are moving on over to you. What would you like to do?
That's all happened on the other side.
Correct. You've just seen a lot of light. That's all you've really seen.
I saw them through the window, but since we've all started moving, it's a little bit lost.
Yeah.
And you've heard pineapple muffins. So
Yes.
Except for my eyes are focused on Twiggy. I'm going to run past Abby and Sora and just yell, "So the kids are in the loft!" And then I'm going to try and cast Entangle on Morgantha.
Okay.
I don't know how strong hags are, but I might as well try.
Is it a strength saving throw?
Saving throw.
So Morgantha's pretty haunch, not gonna
Yeah.
lie. But let's see what the dice say.
You never know.
So I rolled a 4. We are adding quite a hefty number to that, which is 5. That's a 9.
Gotta be a 15.
She did not beat that. What happens? What's going on?
What happens? I'm kind of running at Twiggy while this is happening, and I'm yelling at Mr. Abby and Sora. So I think with the Entangle, Twiggy was mine. And I think it's just getting into that connection, and some of the roots, which seem like they're going to be attacking my allies, kind of veer
Yeah,
and
nice.
trap Morgantha instead. So I think it's also even if it didn't work, I was hoping the emotional impact of the change of direction would have done something. But yeah, it's kept her nice and trapped, which mechanically
Yes.
does.
She grappled?
Restrained until the spell ends.
Ooh.
They can use an action to make a strength check against my spell save DC each turn as their full action.
Mm-hmm.
So they can try. So
Okay.
Flag is now just kind of restrained and easier to get past and can't do things really.
So she's tried to hug Abby. She's been blasted backwards. The arms have gone up and now the roots are holding her arms up in place, so she looks permanently surprised. With the arms in the air. She's currently restrained. What else would you like to do with your go?
Leave my friends alone. That includes my tree and kids and just everyone. And also, you smell and your pies are bad. And I'm going to just run.
Oh, can you roll a d4? Because I want some psychic damage for that to go onto her.
2.
Oh, she felt that. So you are running towards Twiggy, is that correct?
Yes. And I want to get as close as I can and then kind of hide within Twiggy. So use my bonus action to hide. But
Ooh.
within...
Okay, so we're going to look at Twiggy's passive perception. Not amazing. Could you roll for me general stealth, please? Because Twiggy's kind of really tall at this point. Twiggy's a bit taller than last you saw him. He wouldn't be looking down so much when you reach him.
Dirty 20.
Brilliant. Yes, you would be able to do that. When you kind of weasel your way within, it doesn't feel nice. Like, you can feel the negative energy that all of these horrid little roots... There's a cat. All of these little roots are kind of enshrouding him, but they are threatening to cover you. But only threatening at this point.
That's right. I'm holding on to the Entangle with the concentration spell, so I'm just trying to make that connection and bring it up from the edge of those roots deeper within the core.
Got you. Amazing. Does that end your turn?
Yes, it does. Honey, you have to move. Honey.
Jaunty, you would hear footsteps at the very top. Again, quite shuffling. You've not seen Granny yet. You would assume that is Granny, who you can hear at the very top of this place. that's her go, but you don't know what's going on there. We now move on over to Twiggy. Now, Twiggy has not clocked memory. So, Twiggy is going to kind of twist what would be his head, his face. And you see that kind of metallic object by his chest and the roots kind of pulsating out of it as he moves with like a lurching fashion that gives you the impression that he doesn't want to move like that. Something is making him do it. He kind of lurches towards Sora and is going to attempt to hit you with a branch with one of his arms. Sora, does a 20 hit you? Not natural, just standard 20.
Yeah.
Okay. That's his first attack. You're not raging yet. That's 20 points of bludgeoning damage to you. The next attack is his grasping root. Now, memory is within, and I'm going to say, if you want to use your reaction right now, memory, you can, to try and influence what these roots are doing. Now, we've got no mechanic for this, but let's go loosey-goosey. As a druid or someone who knows the druid way of things, someone knows how to animate these things, what would you do to prevent a bad set of roots trying to hit your friend? How would you try and persuade Twiggy not to do this? Like, what would you try and do to stop these roots?
think.
You don't have to use your reaction, but if you would want to do it, you can do now.
No, I think I do. Because again, I want to prevent as much of what I consider ally against ally violence as possible. And also, Sora hits hard, and I don't want her to hurt my baby. So, it's kind of like if the roots are going in your plant pots out in a way that you don't want them to go, it's just you kind of gently lift them. You don't cut them, you don't hurt them because that's bad, but you kind of move the soil and the plants, and then kind of just like take those roots and retwist them back into the right direction. So I think it's just kind of feeling that connection with the roots that she's already got and kind of trying to move it and the earth around so it kind of veers.
Redirect the energy.
It directs the energy.
Amazing. Can you make it's gonna be wisdom based. Let's say like a wisdom saving throw. That feels like an appropriate thing to do right now. Let's see if you're successful. I need you to make that 15. That's your target, 15.
Fantastic. 16.
Hey, awesome. Sorry, you see like Twiggy with these roots reaching towards you, but just before they get towards your face, like they are millimeters away, they begin to retract. And Twiggy's looking confused. But that's all he's going to do on his turn. Sora, over to you. There is a restrained hag in the doorway. I just need to check if something
That's
is restrained.
Morgantha, no?
That is Morgantha. I'm just going to check the restrained status. So I think you get advantage, but I might be wrong. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. So you can attack with advantage any attack on Morgantha right now.
Very interesting.
Okay. So I'm gonna go into rage.
Cute. Yeah.
Really tempted to attack the tree because it damaged me a lot. But the witch is restrained, so I might go for Morgantha first. So I'm gonna go with the fire breath weapon, which when you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace one attack with 30 feet line breath weapon that is 5 feet wide. Each creature must take a dexterity save DC 14, taking duty 10 fire damage on a fail or half as much on success, except that I have +2 because of rage and plus D6 because Jonty gave me a plus D6. So I think she needs to do a dexterity save.
So just correct me if I'm wrong, but I think barbarians with their +2 for the rage is just on melee weapon attacks. I don't think it's on...
It's melee.
But don't let me influence your decision. But that's
The bonus D6 is only on melee attacks, as melee weapons as well, I believe.
It's okay.
So don't let us influence your decision, Astrid.
I did want to burn her.
Okay.
But is she an undead or a construct?
No.
Okay, then I can do the great sword of life stealing in that case.
Okay.
Burn her through your actions.
Yeah. Oh, your words.
Burn her with sick insults.
Yeah.
No, it just says melee attack. So
Melee attack would still be a...
fair
yeah.
enough.
Because I'm not level 10 anymore, I
Ah.
cannot infuse the weapon. I would have been able to infuse it with fire, but it was gonna be just then slashing. But yeah, when you attack a creature with this magic weapon and roll a 20 on the attack, that target gets an extra 10 necrotic damage.
Okay.
So if I get more than 10 in the attack, more than 20 in the attack, is that?
Yep.
So 12. That's 12.
With
You can
advantage?
roll with advantage, so you can roll again.
Yeah. 11 and 12.
The dice are being cruel to you today. Somehow, she manages to avoid this. Maybe it's because she's like this, like you're not anticipating her to be in this pose when you attack. But you managed to miss with that first attack. I think you still get extra attack because you're level 5, so feel free to hit again with advantage.
22.
Absolutely hits, and that activates your life-stealing power. So roll your damage, add your +2 because you're raging, and add the jaunty fun time numbers.
So
I remember what they are. Force.
That's
it would be
exactly what the
10
abilities
plus 2, 12, and then
Nice.
the d6, so it's 12 plus 4, so 16.
Oh, she's
Plus
not
the
looking
10
well.
extra because it's the necrotic damage, because it was over 20.
So 10 on top of that as well.
Yeah. So it's 26. Because it's 10 slashing and 16 slashing and 10 necrotic.
So some of that was force. So what happens is you slice across her, which she takes the slashing damage from. Then the force damage kicks in, which kind of knocks her backwards. There's a couple of bones out of joint at that point. Then the necrotic damage kind of seeps in where the cut is. She's not doing very well at all. She looks like she wants to try and escape, but she can't. Sora, is there anything else with your go that you would like to do?
I think I can't attack again, so I think that will be it for me.
Amazing, great turn, thank you. Jaunty, looking a little frazzled, what would you like to do?
well, is there still a face in the window above me?
There is, yes.
Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna say to myself, Jaunty, you're a zombie clown, don't try and climb in windows. What other response are you gonna have except violence if a zombie clown climbs in the window? Stupid, I slap myself across the face and give myself a healing word.
Amazing.
Because I need it. And that is, how much do I get? 1d4 plus 3. So, cool, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get another 6. So I'm looking a little bit better.
Good.
So that's my spell, and that's a bonus action. So I guess I'm just gonna send an Eldritch Blast up to the face above.
Nice. Is that 1 blast or 2?
It's just one,
Just one.
unfortunately.
Cool.
Okay, so 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 to hit.
So you need 17. That absolutely hits.
Actually, I think it should be 2 blasts because you're level 5, right? And
Are you
cantrips scale regardless of what class you're in.
Yes,
So-
we do.
If that's what D&D Beyond says, I'm good to go with it.
Cool, I do another attack roll, don't I?
Yep. 2 blasts.
Okay, and then that is 16 on the second one.
16 does not hit, sadly.
Just one.
Yeah, maybe she got wise after that first one.
Okay, so that is... Yeah, that's 9 force damage.
9 force damage, nice. Like, she sees you giving yourself a healing word. Like, having a word with yourself. She's about to reply with something awful, then you just hit her in the face with the Eldritch Blast. Like, the jaw dislocates, a tooth comes out. Like, yeah, nice. Are you staying where you are, or are you moving round to the front, or are you just...
I'm probably going to stay here and hope to either draw this hag's attention, or that I'll be able to get her out the window and then climb up to the kids. Something I will mention is when I give myself the healing word and slap myself around the face, my neck pops into a bit of a unnatural angle for extra zombie clown vibes.
I love that. I love that. Marvelous. Well, top of the round, it's Morgantha. She's currently like this. She can make a strength saving throw, right? At the end of her turn.
As her action.
As her action. Yeah. Let's see if she can free herself. She rolled a 14.
Total?
Yeah.
Yeah, failed.
Oh, she's like this. That's all she can do. She looks both elated and confused. That ends her turn. Alfie, over to you. She's not looking great, just so you know.
Consequences. Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to talk?
I wanted a hug.
Not talking it is then. All right. Swipe. And that's with advantage, right?
Correct, yeah, 'cause she's restrained.
Ooh, I'm really hoping to get something juicy here. Mild juicy. That's a 19 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
Do I want to smite again? Probably, right? We
Smite.
should just go ahead and smite again.
Smite.
Smiting is a good choice. I'm just going to do another first level smite though. So that is 16 points of normal damage of just from the normal smack. 6 of that is radiant, and then an extra 10 points of radiant damage on the smite.
Alfie, can you tell us how Morgantha is no more, please?
It is he just like keeps kind of like swinging overhand and like driving her like a nail essentially, because you described her as like kind of looming, right? And then just like lower and lower until all of memory's roots just like keep pulling her down and down and down until she doesn't get up anymore.
There's just hands. That's all you can see that remains of dearest Morgantha, who is buried in the earth. Amazing. What would you like to do? The door is open. If you wish to go in, you don't have to.
Yeah, I think so. Memory is out here, right? And like going towards the tree.
I mean,
Sora's there.
Yep. Sora's next to you. Memory kind of rushed past you towards the tree and kind of has been enveloped by it.
I think Alfie is gonna do the brave, stupid thing and charge up the stairs to where he sees the other hag who has been just launching spells over at Jaunty.
You see Ophelia kind of has just arched her head in as an eldritch blast flies upwards. With your movement, you're just able to reach the top of the stairs. You pass all sorts of nasty things below, but we'll talk about that later.
Staying focused, not gonna vomit even a little bit, not even in my mouth. Nope, just very focused. And
your head kind of bobs to one side as you kind of avoid some fingers that are just hanging off some string off a beam. And with that, it is Ophelia's go. What's she gonna do? She can't use her coven things anymore. Gosh dang it. Right, what can you do, babes? What can you do? Let's have a look. She's still got her own spells. I think she's surprised by this. So she's gonna try to, she's not really thinking, she's gonna do something as not a reaction, but as a reaction, if that makes sense.
Yes.
She's gonna try and just magic missile you, because that's the first thing that she would think to do. They will auto hit. There are 3 darts of magical force. I will roll 3d4.
I won't blow another spell slot on this just yet.
That's 15 points of force damage to you.
That does hurt.
Now, I say they're darts. They're actually horrid, like, needles that you would normally see on a loom. They're quite long, and she just fires them towards you. And they kind of... Sorry to get gross. They're going to come out of her skin and then just fly towards you like she had them saved up all this time. That ends her go. I think, actually, she's going to kind of move around. You don't see another set of steps up here, but she's going to move around to a very specific area. And she's going to look upwards. That ends her go. Memory, over to you. You're in, Twiggy. What's going on?
I think the first thing I want to do is I want to
see if I can send a little bit of extra healing to Jaunty.
Okay.
Just so Jaunty doesn't have to use up all the spells doing it to themselves and can be actually more. So I'm just going to go with, please don't die again. You're very cool and I like you very much. And I believe in you.
I hope I don't die again. Thanks. Question mark?
For flavour, it's just a few petals kind of land against you and necrotize, but they kind of give you the energy.
Awesome.
Through that, which is going to be, I know all of my spells. Yes, just a d4 because I don't have, but it's 7 points of healing.
Sweet.
Which,
cool.
Yeah, could make or break something. You
Thank
never
you very
know.
much.
And then I would like to. It's still ranged if the tree's much bigger than I am, right? That counts.
What would you like to do?
So I want to cast Chill Touch.
Okay.
Gem.
Against what, sorry?
Against whatever that gem thing is on Twiggy.
The kind of, not silver thing, the metal thing at its chest.
Metal thing.
Yeah, okay. Now that is an object, not a creature. What does the spell say? It doesn't matter, I'm just, in terms of range, I'm trying to wrangle this for you.
It's an attack.
Okay. I would say that the object itself is more than 5 foot away from you because Twiggy is so tall. Twiggy himself or themselves is immediately before you, but the item is not. So sure, I've convinced myself.
Fantastic.
Roll to hit.
That is... God, this is the dice I should use for everything. That is a 21.
Oh, absolutely hits.
Fantastic. I can't... So I usually organize my dice so that I can work out what they are. 6 points of necrotic damage on the item itself.
So it is on the item itself, but on the item itself are lots of little roots that are coming out. And these little roots also take that damage. And they actually take that damage with vulnerability. One by one, these little roots begin to they're emanating from it, but then that kind of stops. This sort of conveyor belt of horrid roots kind of ceases. And they kind of disintegrate. This metal object appears to be releasing. It kind of shuffles down. You know those machines that you put pennies into and they kind of drop down all the little pegs? It's kind of doing that, but with a network of bark and roots and all sorts. It doesn't fall to you immediately, but next round it probably will.
The reason I wanted to use this spell is, as a spell, it stops the creature or the thing it's being used on from regaining hit points until my next round. So I'm hoping it stops this item from trying to regain its controlling energy. That's why I was trying to use this one rather than something else.
Good thought. I'm going to make a note. Thank you. Awesome. Good to know. All right. Are you staying within Twiggy?
Yes. Come on, honey. I'm sorry, I forgot you. We're gonna go and get you back and then save some kids and give you some, fertilizer. Make you some nice loamy soil.
Can you make a persuasion check with advantage, please?
Can't say no to loam.
No. Vision is 0, so 15.
Okay. Anyone who's looking to Twiggy's direction would see that, he is tense. So his shoulders are, up by his ears if he had them. But then suddenly they kind of start to drop a little bit. And the very angry face begins to just unwind a little bit. The brows are starting to unknit. The furrowed brow is starting to become less so.
Mr. Abby gave you a hag, and now she's underground. Do you feel her? And you can start absorbing her.
There's a happy kind of groaning noise from Twiggy. Those on the outside would see that roots are beginning to sink into the earth, but we'll leave that there for the moment. Abby, in a good place to hear this. There's a lot of shuffling going on right above you. And you know what? It's gonna happen. You look above you to where the shuffling's coming from and you see a trapdoor. It's not very well hidden, it was there this entire time. Morgantha is stood beneath it. Not Morgantha. Ophelia is stood beneath it. I'm gonna roll to see if anyone falls through this because they really shouldn't be standing on top of it for this long. Ungracefully, Granny, who you have all seen before, falls from the trapdoor onto Ophelia, causing Ophelia and herself 4 points of force damage each. They are both currently prone on the ground. I'm just going to take off that from both of their HPs. There's a lot of discussion in a language you don't understand, Alfie, but they both seem most annoyed at each other in this moment. She's fallen through. Granny's going to use half of her movement to stand up. Going to look at you and say, "You would make a very good pie." She's casting vicious mockery on you because that's all she can do. Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
I can certainly try. It won't go good, but we'll find out. Well, 13. So that's better than average, but I imagine probably not enough.
DC 12 is what you needed. So you succeed. Right. You do not take the damage. You do not have disadvantage on your next attack roll. That ends her go. However, you are in an enclosed space with two rather pissed off hags.
Or are they in an enclosed space with me, an aggrieved guest?
Oh, I didn't consider it
questions.
That way. No, I did. We're going to move on over to Twiggy. Now, what is Twiggy going to do? Because Twiggy's item has kind of fallen and the thing that was controlling him now isn't there anymore. And he's hearing the words that Memory is using. And he is a sentient being, and he does have feelings. I think he is going to... The rest of you would see him not do anything, because he's searching inside himself. Memory. What would be the one thing that Twiggy, like his core... You know when you give your pets their core memories? Like, what would be a core memory for him? Like, how did you first meet? Like, what kind of happened? What's a good memory for him?
I think the first meeting is the creation of when Memory is preparing to leave home for the first time under the guidance of her patron to go and set off to Barovia and like finding a still relatively whole piece of the tree, the large central tree in their village, and kind of using the staff to awaken it and kind of, so bring that cutting to life as a companion.
So in my mind, Memory's gone to this large tree, got the cutting. Now, do you put that in a pot? Do you put that in the ground? Like, what's the process?
Find kind of like the cleanest patch of earth and then kind of making up her own ritual for this. Nice. But like using like fresh water, all of the good bits that, might be like for good fertilizer that she spent like months making in preparation to make sure that there's something non-blighted in this place.
Like a sourdough starter.
Kind of, and then packing, making a hole in the ground and packing that in. Just kind of checking. And yeah, her conversations with her patron are mostly feelings of yes, no, warm or cold.
Mm-hmm.
But this has been like the warmth of a spring coming. Like this is not the thing that's happening, but the preparation for a good thing that could happen.
You feel like a gentle sun's warmth on your face, even though it's like currently mid-morning. Like there's no sun in the sky, but you have a nice gentle warmth.
So I think Daddy did this, and then the spell. This staff is so much bigger than she is. Still quite young at this stage. Hello, please awaken. My name is Memory. I would like you to be my friend, and then we can travel the world and find some good stuff and save home.
There's like a little knot in the twig.
Hello, my name is Memory. I would like to be friends, and we can come and save home, as well as awaken. Awaken, please. I'll treat you kindly as best I can, and protect you as best I can. And if things go wrong, I'll try my best to fix it. Mummy and Daddy said I was very good at that.
There's like a really long pause. It feels like an eternity, but there is a knot in the twig. It's got a couple of offshoots. And it gradually opens to form an eye shape. And then on the other kind of offshoot twig, like another kind of knot opens again. The leaves bristle a little bit as new life comes to this twig, and you are the first thing that Twiggy has ever seen in his awakened state.
Hi, my name is Memory. I think we need to go west. Do you want to come with me and be my friend?
One of the branches kind of stretches out to you and just brushes your cheek with its like little leaves. And in that moment, we're going to snap back to Twiggy on this battlefield outside the windmill, remembering all of this.
I'll take care of you as best I can and protect you as best I can. And if things go wrong, I'll do my best I can to fix it.
The rest of you would see one of the giant branches reach out as if brushing a face that is not there. The movement is the same movement that Twiggy made all those years ago. Talia, if this combat continues, which I think it might do, could you find on D&D Beyond the Tree Blight stat? And you can now control Twiggy at the end of your turn like a pet. Yeah? Cool. All right. But that ends his turn right now. We're going to move over to Sora. Sora, you have seen Alfie run in and head upstairs, jumping over the hands that remain of Morgantha at the door. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I will go after Alfie and try to see if he needs help. And I'm still raging, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Yes, you run in through the door using your full movement. You arrive at a scene where one of the hags is prone on the ground. The other has stood up and is looking straight at Alfie. The other is Granny. Granny was the one who had all the pastries in the cart. And the one who is prone on the ground is Ophelia, who was looking out of one of the windows. What would you like to do?
Which one looks in worse shape?
Great question. Great question.
I don't think we've done anything to either, have we?
We haven't.
Other than they fell on their butts.
Ophelia, the one looking out the window, took quite a bit of damage from Jaunty.
Jaunty, that's right.
So the one prone on the ground is looking worse than Granny.
Okay, I'm gonna go for the one in the ground, both because she looks weaker and two because pretty sure the other one knows how to bake the muffins.
100%. 100%.
Granny has the muffins.
Now
So
you
I'm
can
gonna
roll with
go-
advantage because she's prone as well. So roll with advantage for your attacks.
Okay, so I'm gonna still keep with the great sword of life stealing because that's the one that gives me the advantages and not the fire. So first one is a 15 and the second one is a 28, natural 20.
Ooh, natural 20 definitely hits. The first one did not. Now, natural 20, you double any dice that you would roll.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I need to do the damage for that one first. So it will be, I think D&D Beyond does it automatically, the double of that, because you put an 18, but I need to do the D6 as well. Should I be cheeky and say that the D6 is doubled as well, or the D6 is only one?
If it's a dice that you roll, you double it.
Oh, okay. Then I will roll 2 D6s, so is the 18 plus 2 because it's the raging, so that's already 20. And then the 2 D6s is 8, so 28.
28 points of damage.
Plus the 10th of necrotic because it was 20. And then I get 10 temporary hit points, and I did have 10 from before.
Nice. So we're going to flavor this. You've rolled a natural 20. She is still with us. She's still alive. The energy that you get, that temporary HP that you get, you absolutely get. You receive that 100%. But it's coming from a hag. It's coming from a malicious fey presence. What is the opposite of candy flavor in Sora's mind? What would be the opposite to candy?
Brussels sprouts.
You get the taste of Brussels sprouts in your mouth. Yeah, it's not nice at all. Like, just going off, just rotting Brussels sprouts, not nice.
Hate the Brussels sprouts. That's the first attack, and I still get a second attack because I'm raging.
Oh, because it's advantage. Yes, good point. Yes, roll with advantage on your second attack.
Okay, so the second attack, the first one is a 15, and the second one is a 20. Dirty
Absolutely
20.
hits. Absolutely hits. Roll your damage.
Okay, so now the damage is 10 plus 2 of the raging, so that's 12, and then the D6 plus other 2, so it's 14 in total.
Sora, can you tell us how Ophelia, the night hag, is no more? Tell us how she dies.
Okay.
With the taste of Brussels sprouts in your mouth. Tell us how she dies.
I wanted her to feel the Brussels sprouts, but I can't do that with the sword. So let's just say that it was a clean cut to the neck, and her head is rolling.
I'm going to say you do that. You breathe on her a little bit so she does get the aroma of Brussels sprouts back at her. You lop off the head, which falls out of the window. Jaunty ahead just lands in front of you. Does that end your go, Sora?
Yeah, that ends my go.
Amazing. As the head lands at your feet, Jaunty, it's your go.
I look at the head, look to the window, look to the side. Talking is a free action, so I just call out, Memory, are you okay with Twiggy? Do you need a hand?
We're very good. We're all good now.
Okay, great. Does this wall look scalable?
I'm gonna say absolutely.
Cool.
There's moss some moss and vines going down it. You'll be fine. You will be fine. You'll be fine. Fine.
Are you sure it's not gonna rot away in my hands?
Oh God. We'll have to see what happens.
We're gonna try it. This seems the most logical in the moment.
Yeah. What would Jaunty do?
Would scale the... Doesn't make the best decisions. Scales the building. Try to get up there. Most direct route.
You don't actually need to roll for that. You can do that 100%. Yes, some of the moss does die. Memory doesn't see it though, so it's okay. But you're able to get your fingers in the right areas as you scale up. You're able to, with your movement, just get to the window and hoist yourself. So you're sort of crouching in the open window. That's your movement.
Okay. And so
where you see Granny in that space with Abby and Sora.
Okay.
I'd say she's about 10 foot away from you, wearing an apron, with an open trapdoor above her head.
Cool. How far away is the open trapdoor, would you say?
Above her, about 15 foot.
Okay.
You hear laughter above.
Aha. Okay. In that case, I will use my bonus. How does Granny actually look? I should probably ask that.
So you've seen Granny just looking like your bog standard lovely old lady, but she's not disguised herself in this moment. The hair that's normally done up in like a sort of rinse and set do is kind of scraggly down. It hangs in thin strands from her scalp down her face. Her skin has a horrid green hue. Her nose is long-ish, but what is most off-putting are the sort of the sunken-in eyes and the masses and masses of bags and her very long, elongated nails.
Ooh, lovely.
Yeah. How she needs pastry with those, I do not know, but we won't ask.
Okay, I'm just checking a thing very quickly. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Pause. I can't find the ability I'm looking for.
It's okay.
1 minute. In there. Aha. No. Okay, it's that. Okay. Oh, screw it. I'll just do a normal attack. It's fine. Okay, so I think I'm gonna take one of my baubles and kind of flick it while making eye contact and do Toll the Dead.
Oh, okay.
And this has a high DC because it uses my Tarocca deck.
Oh, sweet.
So can she make a whiz save, please?
She absolutely can. I've got 16.
Does not meet it.
Nice.
So that is when I reach 5th level, it's increased by 1d,
whatever the damage is.
Yeah,
1d8?
the wording's weird. It says the spell's damage increases by 1 die when you reach 5th level, 2d8 or 2d12.
Yeah, so if it's Toll the Dead, the way it works is if it is injured, it does D12 damage, and if it is uninjured, it does D8 damage.
Well,
Thank
someone
you.
fell out of a trapdoor and injured herself, so...
Like a nerd.
Thank you. I can't read. So that's 2d12 damage.
Nice.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 necrotic damage, please.
How many, sorry?
15.
15. Her head snaps back in agony as the sound of Dolores' bells kind of are just only in her mind. That's all she can hear. She grabs her ears. She's not enjoying herself right now. I'm going to say, on your turn, you see scurrying little feet above you.
Cool. Excellent. Oh, I've got a bonus action. And I'm actually going to give Bardic Inspiration to Alfie.
What does that look like?
It looks like I pluck a card from behind his ear from afar, and then just kind of flick it over, and a spectral card kind of gets lodged behind your ear.
Oh, nice.
Jaunty, you're back.
Yeah.
Good of you to join us.
You dropped a head on me. Thanks.
Sora, that was Sora's excellent work. I wouldn't want to take credit for such things.
A likely story.
He points behind him at the like crumpled under roots and beaten down hag. It's like that one was me. This one was Sora. Great job. Thank you for following, Sora. It was an incredible job.
She was mean. She gave me Brussels sprouts.
Oh, how dare she?
Yeah, I can't hear this conversation.
No.
I like.
Awesome. Jaunty, that ends your go. Awesome. Quick question: what is the number for the bardic inspiration? Is it a D6?
D6, yeah.
D6. Abby, Alfie, Babby, Alfred, Abington. It is your go.
He is going to. Oh, go ahead.
She stood up. So there's a stood up hag nearby. Granny is standing.
Again, it's like, grandmother, we could have discussed this. We could have been, civil about these things, and yet spells have been slung, hugs have been attempted, tree companions have been corrupted, and frankly, that is no way to comport yourself in civil society.
She's looking towards a cauldron, which is in this space right now, and she looks like she's thinking about going towards it.
Ooh, if there's a fire under it, it goes out.
Oh,
I'm within 30 feet, probably.
The smug glee on her face drops as the cauldron is not lit. Abby, what are you doing?
So Abby is going to, again, just kind of do a side swipe straight into her. He rolled a 4 on the die, so he's going to go ahead and use that bardic inspiration that Jaunty has so kindly given. That was a D6, right, you said?
Yep.
Okay. 5, okay. That's a number that we can work with.
That's absolutely an increase from 4.
Well, no, so it adds 5, so we're up to a 9. So that's
sweet.
a 15 to hit.
Oh, you need 17, Abby. Does not hit,
alas.
I'm afraid.
Just doesn't quite connect. She's a little too, Alfie still has a little bit of kind of just like civil desire not to smack an old lady, no matter how grotesque and horrid she is. There's just that little bit of hesitation, so it doesn't quite connect.
She looks like she's been given a bit of a lifeline there, as you did not connect with her. At this point, the kids are free upstairs. They've managed to get out of their... They have cages that they're not that you've seen, but they've actually managed to get out of them. There's a lot of giggling. And they're up there, but they are going to attempt to drop some flour on Granny. Flour to the face.
God, hell yeah, it's turning into Home Alone so quick.
That hits. She's considered blind until the start of her next go, which means that they can move without provoking an attack of opportunity in terms of the mechanics of it. There is quite a drop, but there's giggling. The giggling continues as 2 boys begin to drop from the hole to then bamf into little baby ravens, and then hop and then kind of skitter away towards the steps. But it doesn't seem to last very long. This raven nest, they kind of bounce back into their original selves, giggling at each other the entire time. That ends their go. They've been able to move out of the way of the hag without an attack of opportunity. We now move to Memory. At this point, Memory, just so you know, the object kind of has made its way to reaching distance of you. What would you like to do?
Okay. Infestation is a bonus cantrip.
Say that again, sorry.
Infestation is a bonus cantrip, so I can use my action.
Yep.
For grabbing things.
Yep. Oh, free action to grab.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna grab the thing, wrap my hand up in cloak.
Yep, got you. You're able to retrieve it. 2 things happen. The first thing is you notice that what you have got in your hand as the roots melt away appears to be an amulet of some description, but without something in the center. The next thing to occur is dropping onto your head is another metal object that falls to the floor. It looks like a tiny clock, and the glass that is over the top of it is broken, and you see that the hands are also broken. The chain is kind of pulled and twisted.
Okay. Look at it. Pocket it later, for later. I'll ask Jaunty to help me look at them. Jaunty's smart. Yeah. And then just kind of lean through and go, is everybody okay in there?
All good. We've got one headless, we've got one blinded, we've got some were ravens. Apparently, they're on our side because they're kids.
Okay. I would like to ghost punch the
Okay.
hag. Just
Okay.
chill touch, but I also want to punch her with it.
Okay. Tell us what that looks like.
I think it's the ghostly hand, which is now it's pulled the gem the cords away, and now it's just got a hand free, so it's just kind of swift. I feel it's someone. It is literally it was someone's dismembered arm now, just kind of floating around. Someone the hags had previously got. I was like, that one there. She's the one that did that. I'm sorry about the rest of you, but you go punch her.
So dismembered arm.
Dismembered arm.
Yeah, just floating across. Lovely manicure. Like, they really took care of their regime.
That's a 24 to hit.
Absolutely is.
That is 6 points of necrotic damage, but also the hag can't regain hit points or anything.
Okay. Oh yes, good point. No, she can't. Okay. She's not looking great. Does that end your go?
It's my action. Does anyone need extra healing? I've got a couple of spell slots left.
I'm good for the moment, but we'll see if she packs a punch, I guess.
That's fine. I'll hold it in reserve. You guys can do it.
Go team us.
Yes, that is memories go.
Cool. Okay, so what happens? Granny is blind. She knows the cauldron has gone out. She doesn't have her spells really available to her. She's the weakest, yes?
I think Twiggy, you said now gets to go as my familiar after my action.
It is Twiggy's go. What would Twiggy like to do? Twiggy's tall enough to see in the window, just so you know.
Let's do more grappling. Okay, so that is a minute. Oh, okay, that is very good. That is I can't do math. 24.
That certainly beats 17. What's happening? Has Twiggy kind of lumbered up to the window and...
Yeah, I think it's just we're both leaning through the window.
Yeah, nice.
And then the target is grappled straight away. It says the target is grappled, escape DC 15, but it doesn't say. But it doesn't say that the person has to do a thing to prevent being grappled. It just says.
She just is.
Yeah,
she just
hit the target. It's grappled.
If it's hit. Yeah, absolutely.
Hit. And also at the start of her next turn, she'll take D6 plus 6 bludgeoning damage. And there's also stuff about the root. But it's basically this creature is now... It's easier to hit her. I'm not taking that away from people.
Well, it's now her go, so roll that D6 plus 6 or whatever it was.
12.
12 points of damage. Okay. Is that bludgeoning?
Bludgeoning, yeah.
So she's still inside the building. You've not pulled her out. She's blind. Twiggy's grabbed her. You all see her her eyes are bulging a little bit, having been squozen so much at this point. She is still with us. It's now her go. She's being squeezed somewhat. She's grappled. She can make an attempt to escape, or she can try and attack the thing that is grappling her in this minute. What's she going to do? I'll roll a d4. Let's find out. She is going to attempt escape. Strengths to avoid grapple.
We get a lot of attack of opportunities.
What was the DC on the...
15.
15. That would be a 13. She does not escape. She's still grappled by Twiggy. Sora, it's your go. Granny is grappled. Grappled. Her speed is 0. You don't get any advantage on the attack, but she is blinded. Blinded until the end of her turn. She can now see. She knows what's going on around her with her eyes. Sorry, it's your go. You can attack, but just a straight roll.
And I'm still at good distance to her, right? Yeah.
You'd be able to reach her, no problem.
Okay. Then in that case, I'll still go with the Sword of Life Stealing. So let's see the attack. That's a 17 hit.
Hits, just hits.
Yay. Okay, so for the damage, it will be, wait a minute, 14 plus 2 because of the rage, plus the d6 because of Jaunty. The d6 was 6, that's good. 16 plus 6, I believe that's 22.
Yep, got it. Nice. Oh, she wasn't expecting that. You get another attack.
Yes, I do get another attack. So the second attack, that's a 15 hit, probably not.
A 15 just misses, sadly. Yeah, but she certainly took a good heft of damage from your first attack. She is looking around her like she is going to try and escape, but she physically has no means to. Jaunty, it's your go. You're still in the window. Oh, I can't hear you. That's strange.
Oops, I was muted.
You're back. Hello,
I'm
welcome.
back.
Welcome.
The kids look fine, just going around being mischievous.
They're heading down the stairs. They keep bamfing into Ravenfall and then out of it again. Yep.
Great, they're all right.
They're fine. I think Danica's probably heading towards knowing that they're free. So they're all right.
Okay, excellent. I guess there's nothing left to do other than wail on this old lady.
Do it. That's why we play D&D, after all.
That's the reason.
That's why we're all here. This is how we got into this game.
Okay, I'm gonna bonus action. Wait. Whenever you hit with an attack, that's like physical attacks, right?
It doesn't specify melee.
No.
So provided that you roll to hit
Okay.
with a spell attack, that would still count.
Cool. With my bonus action, I'm gonna hex her.
Okay.
So whenever I hit her with an attack, there's an extra d6 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And if she survives to her next turn, she will have disadvantage on dex checks, I guess.
Sure. Okay.
Let's go with that. And then with my action, I'm going to give an two Eldritch Blasts.
Nice. Roll to hit, roll to hit.
Okay. Oh, well, that first one definitely did not hit.
We're
That
after
was an
17. We're after 17. Come on, 17.
Okay. I got 17 on the level one.
Mates beats. Yes, roll your
Cool.
damage.
And she's
Plus all your
damaged,
hexy
so
stuff.
It's a d12 plus a d6.
Nice.
So that is 16.
Jaunty, can you tell us how Granny, in her last gasping moments, is no more? Tell us.
Oh gosh. So I imagine she's kind of spinning around, all flowered out. And as she just kind of goes around spinning, swatting, trying to figure out what's going on, a single Eldritch Blast, just in the form of just a little dash of blue and red light, just kind of bloops, goes between. I'm going to say it goes into her wrinkled old heart. It's wrinkled because she's a hag, not because she's old. I know that aging doesn't work like that. And just kind of goes through her like a little laser before disappearing, and she face plants, essentially.
Nice. There's a little moment where like her eyes are still with you, but the same colouring appears in them as the head becomes stiff, and then she just drops. Good work, everyone. The hags are no more. The little boys are free. This is good. Yeah, you are in. Most of you are in the windmill. Memory, did you follow along with Twiggy? Are you kind of nearby?
We're hanging outside the opposite window, just kind of looking in through there.
Got you. Brom and Bray have made their way outside. Danica is there. She hugs them, but they're looking at Twiggy like their faces a gasp. They are loving this. Wow, this is a really cool tree. What are the rest of you doing? What's going on?
That went way better than I expected it to.
Ooh, that felt pretty good, right? Like that's that. I feel like that's gone better than literally anything has ever gone here.
Other than sexy policemen. But like, are we getting the hang of this place?
Let's not jinx it. Let's not, we will celebrate our success until, so that no weird-eared, pointy-teethed individuals hear us and decide to make our lives miserable. But good job.
How pointy do your teeth have to be weird?
Like
I was talking about his
pointy.
His teeth. Children, are you well?
They're answering you, but like their faces are so like embedded in Danica's hair, they can't respond to you.
Oh,
at this
got
minute.
it. Perfect.
And
Thank you
can
so
we
much.
see the oven? Because I wanted to steal
It's gonna
that
be
oven.
gross. It's gonna be so gross.
The oven's kind of like a clay built-in structure into the wall. I mean, you could try and take it with you, Sora, but it might be difficult.
No, it's in the walls. Never mind.
Sora, though, could you make an investigation check for me, just while you're kind of looking around?
Investigation. Give me a second. Ooh, I'm not good at those. 10.
10. I'm going to tell you, you miss the kind of the funky stuff, but what you do see is a pamphlet, a leaflet, and it says "Guide to the Feywild."
Ooh.
And there's pictures of little fairies and little cupcakes on it.
Can I take it? I will take it.
Very informative. Tells you about all the different regions of the Feywild, what to expect, that kind of thing.
Maybe has a map.
Maybe. Actually, it does. 100% has a map.
One thing that I can follow it is a different thing. But
Well.
that's all I can follow.
What are the rest of you doing?
Jaunty.
Yes, that's my name. Yes.
So I found this thing and this thing that came out of Twiggy as I'm wiggling my way through the window. And I thought you're smart, you know things.
I do know things. What are these things?
Well, the first one appears to be an amulet, but that's not what you're looking at. You see... the first time you see this silver object, now broken almost beyond recognition, you know it instinctually. It is yours, or it was yours. It's a timepiece of travel. But since your arrival in Barovia, it worked, but not as expected. Now it is rent and crushed, and you wonder if it will ever work again. And as you've taken it, or I'm going to say memory kind of shoved all these things at you, you've kind of taken these things in your hand. The world falls away as your mind and senses are overwhelmed. You open your eyes and you stand before the hag's windmill with Twiggy, the animated tree, but your muscles are aching, and the pain in your right leg is unbelievable. You can barely stand, but you find yourself reaching into the cavity that memory went into before. And you turn to call for aid, but memory has been crushed under one of the standing stones which has fallen on her. Sora's in the clutches of one of the hags, the life leaving her body under the force of her grasp. Alfie's holding greatsword aloft, and he charges towards this hag, and he suddenly drops and falls to the ground enfeebled by a failure from the window, laughing manically as Granny rushes towards him and begins to drag him towards the windmill. You look down to the timepiece, unbroken, and then you see the branch sticking through your thigh, and your vision's swimming. The trail of blood you left in your wake tells you what's going to happen next. And with the last effort, you haul and place a timepiece in Twiggy's chest, and your mind swims, and your vision clouds, and mist takes you. And now you're in the Church of St. Andrew. Your leg's fine, but you're surrounded by thralls on all sides, pressing in, reaching for you and grabbing you. You're gripping the timepiece so hard you feel your skin breaking from the force alone, and in your other hand you're holding tight to something else, something papery, folded, small. You cry out for help and see memory disappear below a group of feasting thralls, and beneath the crush of bodies you also spot Alfie, who you don't recognise at first, because for some reason he has a perm, and that kind of distracts you a little minute.
It was a good look.
But he swings his censer, but it's caught by a particularly large thrall, and then he's dragged away, and for a brief moment you see Sora as she cleaves a thrall in twain with her sword, which soon vanishes along with the rest of her as the thralls engulf her and you entirely. And again this misty vision gives way to a familiar situation. The last time you were at Castle Strahd, except it's different. Memory's wielding a longbow and has a wolf at her side. Alfie has no armor, a cloak billows around him and a ball of elemental energy glows between his hands. Sora wears unfamiliar robes and is taking a defensive stance that you believe to be that of a monk. And the horde of zombies are coming in. They fall upon you, and in your hands you squeeze this timepiece, and you realize now, throughout this experience, that you've been hearing a heartbeat. Initially you thought it was your own, but now it becomes clear. You can see it, this large, beating heart. Beating the entire time, getting louder and louder and more powerful with each iteration of your deaths. The visions are coming too quickly now. You die again and again, and your friends are falling, and it's too much. It layers over and over, increasing the speed at the point at which you can no longer separate this blurring horror. The death, the sensation of the timepiece in your hand ceases to ground you, and that is when, Jaunty, you realise that you have been here for years. You have been here for decades, and that realisation breaks your ability to restrain the memories within your own mind, and it spills out to your companions. The rest of you see what Jaunty is seeing, and then you hear the voice of the Muse Eternal. I think it's time I take over, darling. The memories fade away. They're still with you, but it fizzles. You all come back to your senses. Having seen the horrors of your own demises, you see the back of the timepiece fall away to the ground, revealing a folded piece of parchment. There's a muted thud. And you are all back in the room.
Can I take the paper?
Yeah, you can. You pick up the paper?
Yep.
It's tiny, but it's really minutely folded.
I unfold it as daintily as I can.
It feels... It's got a weird texture to it, like it's been written on a lot. You unfold it and it ends up like A3 size, like it's big. There's writing on both sides, and I guess you would all see all the writing on it. The first side, I think, that's before you is covered in lots of tiny, tiny little marks. There are thousands of them. You realise that they are tally marks. The last set, bottom right-hand side, is circled and incomplete. There are words scrawled underneath that read, "One last chance." The side that you guys see, not Jaunty, you would see the other side. There's text written over it, over and over and over again, so much that it's barely legible. Only a few phrases can be passed. You see there's quite a few drawings of anatomical hearts. The words read, "This is the last time I can do this." There's another section that reads, "His heart is his weakness, not the one in his chest. We need to retrieve everything. Memories must return. Gertruda's in the castle. No more mistakes. It's broken now, and soon my memory will be gone. There are so many stories with an unfinished ending. It's already been more times than I think."
Well, I guess this is our last try. I turn over the paper and show the rest of them. Welcome to the Multiple Deaths Club, I guess.
Here's the thing, I don't remember that happening. Like, I don't really... So, I don't...
So are we undead?
I don't think you guys are undead, but it explains why we've found Well, it doesn't explain why we found things buried everywhere. If things are resetting, but they're not resetting, are we just resetting? But then the other people...
Jaunty, can you make a memory check, but with advantage?
Okay. Oh, I got a nat 20 on my first roll there.
In which case, darling, you know I try to protect you. Come on. And you see a very quick, nice vision this time, kind of. The timepiece should teleport you. That's one of its functions. But this has been able to teleport you through time.
Ah.
But you don't quite remember all of that, but I assure you, you did it, darling.
And I did it thousands of times.
It did get a little dull after a while, I have to be honest, but you know, I'd have to let you fly.
Okay, right, cool, good. And this is the last time. It only has one more charge.
Oh. Well, it's broken now, darling.
Thanks for letting me fly. Is there nothing that you could do to help us stop being trapped in a loop of perpetual death?
I've already stopped him taking you from me, dear. That's as much energy as I can put out. Sorry. He wasn't very happy about the sexy police officer either, but...
No,
Whoops.
but that was worth it.
It was worth it, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
He's doing very well, by the way.
Oh, he is?
Yes, dashing. One of mine.
Excellent work. I don't think I've given you enough credit.
Oh, it was all you. All you, not me.
Yes.
All you.
In collaborative effort. So, team. Timepiece has been teleporting us through time with each death. It's broken. This is our last shot to get out of here. Sorry, I guess.
So each of those hashes is a death?
Yep. TPK.
For like.
But different choices every time, which is interesting. Like a perm.
You all remember the perm. Like, that is the one vision that really sticks in all of your minds.
I don't recall that. I don't. No, that doesn't sound familiar. But, so do we know what choices we've made so we cannot make them again? Or...
Back of the paper, I think they wrote on it.
Right.
Jaunty, it's all your writing on the other side. All you.
Oh, great. Cool. Memos through time. I'm smart, I guess. Okay. Gertruda, heart. Okay, so I think we're in agreement that there's some sort of probably big heart somewhere. Maybe with a missing child in it that we need to get to stop this happening.
I think as you say about the heart, not so much the child trapped within it, because who knows? Don't give me ideas. I'm going to say, sorry, you noticed that the little pouch that you have starts to vibrate, and it vibrates in the way that a heartbeat would happen. Now, the section of amulet that was stuck within Twiggy also begins to vibrate. These things are close to each other, and they seem to be trying to connect, like magnets.
Oh, twins.
Do you reach out with the red
reached out
stone?
To Twiggy with the stone.
I think, is it Memory who's got the amulet, or did you give it to Jaunty? Someone's got it.
I've got them both in my hands. I think if Georgie was focusing on the timepiece, I'm still kind of thrusting this amulet in their direction, but in my hands. So I'm like,
Got you. The stone kind of snaps to the center of this amulet. And I'll tell you now, you now are the proud owner of a very significant item. It is the holy symbol of Ravenkind. But we will do the admin on that later. But hopefully that will be another item that you've not had on your previous iterations on your journey to get out of here. What is the... Go on.
Holding it head. Abby going, this seems fancy.
Does this look like... I'm just like, I think we maybe even mentioned it on the last recording, but like, was this something that we recognized from the poster
100%.
that we saw in Hot Cop's room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
in fact, Alfie recognized it. It's old. It's like it's a legendary item. It's good.
it's good. It's one of those good. It's one of those good items.
Yeah, not a bad item.
Yeah, like does he know the history about it? Like just is he aware of it, or like is that something I should roll for?
You can roll a history check to see like how much lore you would know offhand. But you know of it. You know that it is basically a vampire's bane. That's one of its names.
I have approximately 12 histories of it.
That backs up your thoughts.
Medium
Average,
history.
Yeah. You'd know like a couple of the properties offhand. The ability to hold person, I believe, on vampires.
Yeah. So he just explains, he's like, I think this is the holy symbol of Ravenkind. It has many property. Where did we have this before? Is this is from Hot Cop's poster, whose name Alfie remembers, but Nathan doesn't remember.
Daru.
I think
or maybe Alfie doesn't remember his name. I don't know. It's Hot Cop. You know
it's
him.
Daru. Or Hot Cop.
He had a really nice smile.
Yeah, he liked you.
And a poster. A poster with a paladin or some sort of holy warrior type person who had this thing. This is significant.
Okay, so take it. Take it.
Yoink.
Alfie, you're now the proud owner of the holy symbol of Ravenkind. Well done.
Well, all right.
Would anybody like a hug? I'd like hugs. I'd like to give hugs.
Twiggy just gives you a hug immediately, memory.
Here's the thing, is I don't want to be in this terrible place anymore.
No.
It's very smelly. There are fingers where there should not be fingers, which really is anywhere. There's no place where there should be fingers in a home other than attached to a hand, and they are chock full of fingers. And so I would like to maybe check for a little bit just to see if there's anything else that we should be taking. Try not to give ourselves any additional PTSD than we've already incurred upon, this battle. The last several days apparently are hundreds of deaths. And then maybe just burn it to the ground, and then be about our way. And then hug.
But if we burn the place, we burn the kids in Danica.
No. They're already on their way.
We're gonna say they've started
Sora.
at this point.
Yes.
They've made their excuses and left.
We should leave as well before the fire. Yes.
Okay. This sounds like a good plan. One thing. We need to find this heart, and we need to find it soon before we all die. Does anyone have any ideas what could house a heart other than a person?
When you say that, the holy symbol of Ravenkind, I'm going to say now around your neck, Alfie.
Just teleports. Oh my God, how did it get there?
100% gets right there without you even doing a thing. It begins to vibrate with that familiar heartbeat, and it lifts slightly. It lifts in the direction of something that's been looming over you this entire time. it lifts and you are directed towards Castle Ravenloft. What's going to happen, Memory?
I'm just put my hand out to Jaunty and offer a hug. Like, I'll take the damage if you need it. I want to give you a hug.
Okay, just this once I can give you Healy spells.
A group hug. Everyone's in it.
Everyone's in it. I'm going to say the windmill is on fire.
Can I roll the fire?
You can 100%. Do you want to
Of
roll the
course.
fire?
Wait, I'm inside.
Okay.
Oh.
Come out, Jaunty. Come out.
Okay, I'm coming out.
Yeah. Sora can do the fire. Do you want to roll the damage for the
Do
fire?
you
You're
want
very
me
welcome
to roll for it? Okay.
Go for it. It's going to happen.
Okay, so 19.
19 points of damage to start off with. More damage follows afterwards as all of the fingers catch flame. Yay! All of you hugging with this beautiful fire behind you. The amulet still floating somewhat, pointing towards the castle. And with that, we will finish tonight's game. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and being part of this thingery episode that was tonight's show. What a description. If you enjoyed tonight, we play D&D every Monday from 6 p.m. UK time. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions of all of our shows available everywhere. You know what to search for. I've said it twice. Massive thank you to everyone. Massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There will be a link in chat now. Do join them. Every penny helps us make the content that we do. And thank you again to our sponsors and supporters. Don't forget, we're all over socials as Roll Together RPG. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon.